Needless Things Podcast. Hey, Phantomaniacs! Welcome to the newest episode of the Needless Things Podcast, where we talk about toys, movies, music, and all manner of pop culture dorkery. I am your host, Dave, and I think I have finally completed my recovery from Dragon Con. Dragon Con 2021, a much-needed recess from the horrors of the past year and a half, 2 years, whatever. It was wonderful, and on this episode, this very special episode, you're going to hear all about it. The adventures of the con buddies, the people who work with me and play with me at Dragon Con to do the game show, to do panels, to do all kinds of things, but mostly to drink lots and lots of booze. Who got the drunkest? Were there hangovers? Stay tuned. You'll find out. First, I want to mention the Needless Things YouTube channel. You know it. You have hopefully watched it at least once. But obviously, I'd like for you to go back time and again, like, subscribe, share. This week on the Needless Things YouTube channel, Monday, I posted my review of the Battlefield Warriors 2-pack from Mattel's Masters of the Universe Origins line. It is a special chromey-looking battle armor He-Man, which I learned just prior to the review is referred to as VUM now. We like to call it VAC Metal, but that's not what it is anymore. It's VUM. I still don't know what it stands for, but maybe someday I'll find out. And then a special battle-damaged Battle Cat. Actually, they're both battle-damaged. Very interesting set that I had a lot of fun reviewing, and I'm glad to have in the collection, so you can go watch that review. And then on Wednesday, a very much a surprise review, the final wave of Masters of WWE Turnia, or Masters of the WWE Universe, whatever you want to call it. The 8th wave, which consists of Rey Mysterio, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Chyna. But the weird thing is, the 7th wave hasn't even shipped or shown up in stores yet. I found these in a Walmart. There were 2 Stone Colds, one Rey and one Chyna. I sent Ray and one of the Stone Colds to friend of the show, Steve, who has taken good care of me in the past with like G.I. Joe stuff and I think some other wrestling things. And then I kept a Stone Cold and the Chyna, which I think is one of the best figures in the whole line. But I was shocked to find these just on the peg because Wave 7, which is Andre the Giant, Sergeant Slaughter, Bret Hart, and Junkyard Dog, I've got it pre-ordered from Walmart, hasn't shipped yet, hasn't shown up in stores, no sign of it whatsoever, and I'm sure it's on the way. It's just another part of the weird shipping patterns and distribution that have been going on in the pandemic era and now in the storage container shortage era, which I might get into deeper another time, but I've got a little bit of a crunch tonight, so I'm going to burn through our news and everything else. But I am still doing it. I was going to skip it, but I just can't because there's too much exciting stuff to talk about. So anyway, go to the Needless Things YouTube channel. Almost every Monday and Wednesday, brand new toy reviews, sometimes more often. Sometimes you'll get 4 in a week, depending on if there's a theme. And of course, starting very soon now, and the pile has already started, our spooky toy reviews for the Halloween season. I've already got a bunch of stuff to the point where it might begin before October, depending on if a couple of non-spooky toys come in between now and then. But I've got a pile started, and I can't wait to open up some of this stuff. All right, so Needless Things YouTube channel, go check it out. Tell your friends. Smash that like button if you like Needless Things. And now it is time for some news. Okay, first order of business, PowerCon was this past weekend, and I actually had the opportunity to sit and watch the Mattel panel. I think it was on Saturday. let's see, it was on Saturday. And it was another really fun panel. And it was on Zoom, so unfortunately you were able to see the comments of other people watching it. And I got to tell you something. If you go out of your way to spoil stuff for yourself, if you go to look at leaks and behind-the-scenes stuff about toys and try to dig up every piece of information you can in advance, then the panel happens and they reveal the things that were leaked. You're mad at the wrong person if you're mad at Mattel. You're the dumbass who sought everything out, spoiled all the surprises for yourself, and then sat there and didn't enjoy the panel, because guess what? I loved the panel. I had a blast watching it. I loved seeing the reveals. I found it to be very exciting. So for all the people that were being dickheads in the comments during this panel, you guys ruined it for yourselves. You have no one to blame but the jackass in the mirror. All right. So just real quick, I want to go over this. If you want to see these pictures, you can join the Needless Things Podcast Facebook group. I got a lot of screenshots. Or go follow Needless Things Podcast on Instagram. I posted all of the screenshots that I took of the panel, which you can see pretty much all the products. So I'm going to just run through a few things. Reasons to be excited. There is a ton of new product coming in 2022. The team loves hearing from you, unless you're a self-involved dickhead that spoils surprises for yourself. And we're continually working to improve distribution and actively expanding into new markets. Now, the first thing, ton of new product in 2022. Obviously, we get a little concerned when pre-orders kind of stop. I've been getting most of this product, Masters of the Universe Origins product, from BigBadToyStore.com. And it's been a while since any new pre-orders have gone up. The last thing was the exclusive Palace Guard. And, you get a little nervous because there are two other Masters lines on the shelves, and you wonder how dedicated Mattel really is to Origins. And let me just tell you, after this panel, I feel like they're pretty darn dedicated to Origins. The team loves hearing from you. I kind of made my comment on that already. And continually working to improve distribution. Battle Armor, Skeletor, and He-Man are showing up in stores now. The Wind Raider's showing up in stores. And I would imagine over the next month or so, the next couple of waves of things will start hitting pretty hard. I've seen the wave with the 2002 style Evil Lyn, the Lords of Power Merman. I can't remember exactly who's in it, but I reviewed it on the Needless Things YouTube channel, so please go check it out. Those are shown up in stores too, but like I said, Big Bad, you pay a little bit more, but you know you're going to get it, and mostly I've been getting it before I've ever seen it at retail. I've got a few things that I still haven't seen at retail, so that's the way to go as far as I'm concerned. They revealed Buzz-Off, Jitsu, and a traditional sorceress, same figure as the one that came with Castle Grayskull, which also is reviewed on the Needless Things YouTube channel. What else do we have? Anti-Eternia He-Man, Clawful, and mini-comic Trapjaw, which I love because it's big, naked, green Trapjaw. I think it looks awesome. It's a different look, and I love that they're doing these different looks. This line has the potential to eclipse classics. It just does, and in certain ways, it's better than classics. I'll move on now. That's a debate for another day. Flying Fists He-Man and Terror Claws Skeletor, both with the VUM treatment on their chest pieces, and both with action features. Stridor, fully articulated at the top of the legs, the knees, and the ankles. Lots of blast effects, two alternate helmet pieces, I guess, pivoting guns. The Stridor looks phenomenal. And a base that goes along with the other Castle Grayskull themed bases that have been released so far. The Wind Raider and the Battlefield Warriors playset, actually, that I just mentioned. Both came with Grayskull themed bases, stands, whatever. And then in the Revelation line, the Masterverse line, the new Revelation figures, Fisto, Scareglow, oh gosh, I can't remember her name. and it's not here on the slide. It's Tila's friend and Stinkor, which, by the way, I like Tila's friend. I loved Revelation. I thought it was awesome. It was great. That's all I can say about it. I don't like this Scare Glow at all, and I've got the San Diego. It's not San Diego Comic-Con, but whatever the exclusive Scare Glow was that they released. I've got one on the way. Actually, it should be here Saturday. And I don't know yet if it's going to be a spooky review or a regular review. It depends on what else arrives. Fisto looks great. These, as much as I love Revelation and as much as I love some of the reveals from Revelation, this line, they're just a few things that make it, I don't love it. They showed Merman, which I do love. It's the version of Merman from Revelation with no like chest armor or anything, like, and his eyes poked out. Looks great. And then a traditional Tila, a pre-catastrophe Tila, I guess you'd say. And then this set, well, these two, which I will get both of them, Triclops, who apparently is voiced by Henry Rollins, and I don't know how I didn't even notice that, but it's Triclops from Revelation in his High Priest gear and parts that you can switch out to make him a more traditional Triclops. Awesome figure. And his acolyte, Trapjaw, similarly with the parts to make him a more traditional Trapjaw and with his Triclops worshipping robe. And then some confidential figure that they could not reveal yet. Those are both deluxe figures. Both look great. And these are the ones that are sort of tempting me into getting some more, because I got Skeletor and Skelegod from the Masterverse line, and you can see my reviews again on the Needless Things YouTube channel. But these look awesome. And then King Grayskull from Revelation looks amazing, and he's got a wired-up cape so you can pose it. He's got the two halves of the power sword, two different heads, another deluxe figure that is Target exclusive. Now, normally, I would groan at the thought of a Target exclusive, but so far, the Masters of the Universe Target exclusives have proven, I won't say easy to find, because the Battlefield Warriors I saw once, I bought one, and I've never seen it again. Now, that does not mean it won't show up by the dozens soon, the same way the Rise of Evil 2-pack did, the same way... Actually, I don't think Skelegod is Target exclusive. I think he's Target first. I think Battlecat and Skelegod were both Target first. But anyway, after the Rise of Evil 2-pack, I've got more faith in Mattel's Target exclusives. From this line, anyway. WWE, maybe not so much. All right, moving on. And then they revealed, and this is kind of the thing I was waiting for, that the Masterverse line is expanding with boxes for a Princess of Power She-Ra, a He-Man and the Masters of the Universe He-Man, which this appears to be the like new kids cartoon style thing. I don't know. And then something called New Eternia, which was revealed as original character designs inspired by classic Masters of the Universe concepts, and they showed He-Man and Skeletor, and they look pretty killer. He-Man has sort of the Vicor look, and Skeletor almost a little Demo Man looking, or Demo Man, depending on how you want to say it. Both pretty cool figures that I'm excited to see in person. So, while I won't be collecting all of the Masterverse line, there are obviously things that I'm not going to be able to resist. They showed the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe based on the new Kid CGI cartoon. They look like great little toys. I don't see myself getting those. And then Origins is coming to Mattel Creations. Well, Origins has already come to Mattel Creations, and that's one thing I want to talk about really quickly. Finally, they revealed the Fans' Choice mini-comic Triclops that was part way back before Origins even launched. There was a vote to see which character would be made. Now, I believe Anti-Eternia He-Man was one of the votes, and they're releasing him anyway. I'm sure these will all come out, but this Triclops, a special release was done on MattelCreations.com. He comes with the original glow-in-the-dark Warriors ring, or I guess a reproduction of it. And this is an awesome-looking Triclops. I love it. And it went up for sale Monday at noon. alongside something else we'll be talking about, I got this Triclops no problem whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I ordered this Triclops, got it in my cart, paid for it, went back, because I did this one is an order. The other thing I got is a pre-order, and I didn't want to order them together. So I took a chance, and it paid off, because I ordered them separately. So now Triclops has already shipped, and the other one is a pre-order for like January or something, I think. So this Triclops is on the way. The Mattel Creations experience, for me anyway, I was on at noon, hitting the button, and I got both the things I wanted in 2 separate orders. A completely unparalleled and unprecedented experience buying stuff from a Mattel online store. Okay, so they also revealed new Origins figures on Mattel Creations. They're doing Wondar, one of my personal favorites, but he doesn't come with the loaf of bread, which is a little disappointing. And then I think Goldar was this other guy's name. I'm not positive. I don't know the character. He's from Filmation. But he looks pretty cool. Honestly, don't know if I'll get him. But at the same time, I'm buying like almost everything from Origins. So, wait, is there anything I've skipped? No, I have bought literally every Origins release so far. So I'll probably buy this gold guy with the steer horns on his helmet. And then those are spring 2022 and then fall 2022. They did not announce the figures yet. They also put up a small portion of the PowerCon exclusives, which I didn't look at all because I didn't want the 4-pack because it was too expensive. And then the Faker and the Castle Grayskull accessory set I ordered from Big Bad. So that's already done. A new sun is rising on Eternia, and what that means is Sunman, the classic black character that was created, had nothing to do with Mattel, had nothing to do with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, but it was in toy aisles alongside He-Man, and to me is part of the nostalgia of He-Man. Sunman has been licensed from Olmec Toys and is being released as part of the Masters of the Universe Origins line. So Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun, other characters from the Sunman line, are being released as Origins figures, the first one of which is Sunman himself. That was the other order that went up Monday on Mattel Creations. And I got my pre-order in, no problem whatsoever. Sunman is on the way, like I said, I think in January. So I'm super excited about that. He comes in resealable packaging, and I will be reviewing all of these things on the Needless Things YouTube channel. I believe that is it. Sunman was the grand finale, which I think is a grand finale indeed. I was so excited to see this Sunman figure, what it represents, what it means, and what it means to Mattel's commitment to just being awesome, because that's what the Origins line has been so far, is just awesome. All right, real quick, I want to wrap up with the Spider-Man retro figures that were revealed. There is the Symbiote Spider-Man, Hobgoblin, a classic Hobgoblin, Ben Reilly Spider-Man, Hammerhead, the Spider Armor Mark I, the classic black and silver armor, and then a classic Shocker. These all look fantastic. I have a little bit of a problem with the fact that the Ben Reilly has ugly red pins showing through the blue parts. You guys know I have a big problem with that. But otherwise, like, all of the other ones are must-haves to me. I don't really care about Ben Reilly Spider-Man anyway, but Shocker, classic Hobgoblin, Hammerhead, like, I want all of those figures. Here's the problem. They're $22.99. The big price hike that's been threatened for, it feels like, a couple of years now, seems to have finally happened. And it was across the board. It was Pulse, it was Amazon, it was Big Bad. Well, Big Bad, I think they're $26.99. The price hike has happened everywhere. And for the time being, it is pricing me out of Marvel Legends. I cannot justify $22.99 for these figures, especially ones that don't even come with a Build-A-Figure piece. It just seems outrageous to me. And I know prices are going up, things are changing, inflation, blah, 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 blah. but I until they make a character that I look at and I go, well, I can't live without that. I'm going to be getting really, really picky with what I buy from Marvel Legends if they're all going to be $22.99 going forward, because that's a lot for me to have to justify, especially with Phantom Jr. also collecting Marvel Legends now, which, by the way, he will probably be getting all of these figures. So we'll see what happens. But I did pre-order the Excalibur 3-pack. Those came in slightly under that price, so I was able to justify it, especially because I've just been wanting those figures that badly for that long. All right, you guys, that is all of the toy news for this week. Next week, I will keep an eye on all the sites and all the Instagrams and let you know all the toy news that is worth knowing. Speaking of news that's worth knowing, we talk about the Dragon Con premiere of Troublemaker, which apparently did air on Dragon Con TV over the weekend, and we also had a live screening of Troublemaker with horrible audio and probably not the best video. But I have been getting messages. People are asking, when are we going to be able to see Troublemaker in the comfort of our own homes? And we're going to make it happen. I will keep you updated as things move along. I think it's safe to say, or safe to reveal, I guess, there will be a DVD. And as soon as Wilson and I can make time to record a commentary, progress will... Once we do that, progress on the DVD will move ahead pretty rapidly. We need to get it done and get it out. I know a lot of you want to see this, and I want everybody who wants to see it to be able to see it. So there you go. That's Troublemaker news. I'm excited for progress on this thing. It's been years and years and years now. Honestly, it has been. We started shooting 5 years ago. How insane is that? So, quite frankly, I just want to put it behind me at this point. I'm just kidding. I love it. I'm very proud of it. All right, you guys, that is enough preamble. That is enough introduction. It is time to move on to our recap of Dragon Con 2021. Enjoy.
If you haven't done it all year long, you know you'll get laid at Dragon Con. Girls all dressed like they from Nippon. Mom drove me all the way from Tucson. Marriott cock squats.
Dragon Con!
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 We got a freaky sex party, room 23. Got a furry and a dragon from Honolulu. We got Princess Leia and she's down on her knees. Gonna lick Han Solo, fuck a munchie. Frodo Baggins, your dick be dragging all over the floor. I wanna get more from the fellowship to return.
So guess what Ryan and I are drinking tonight?
You know what? I'm glad. Before you state that, I'm glad we made the deal that we did, because the last drink that I had was with you guys at Dragon Con, and now the first drink I've had since Dragon Con, we're all going to have together again, because none of us have had a drink since Dragon Con, right?
No.
I'm kidding. We didn't make that deal. I mean, I haven't had a drink since Dragon Con, but
I had a drink last night.
I
assumed, I would have lied, but I posted it on Instagram. So
I was going to say, according to your Instagram, you
right. We all know.
thoroughly fallen in love with those Moscow mules, but yours is not in a can.
Is that what you're drinking?
That's what we're drinking. I got ginger beer and vodka, and it's really fucking good, dude.
You got vodka? You had leftover vodka, man.
Well, yes, I'm still drinking that. I have not killed all. I had a whole.
I would
bottle
hope.
of sugar.
So speaking of leftover, I'm usually really, really good about cleaning my hotel room up. I leave all of the towels and everything, all the whites in a big pile. I put all the trash in a single trash bag. Essentially, I try to leave it like I was never there. But I realized when I got home that I left about that much Fireball. For the listeners, that's helpful. Probably about 2 inches of Fireball left in the bottle.
Not very much.
Probably about 6 Diet Cokes and that Wahlburger sandwich in the refrigerator.
Oh, egad.
Oh,
I sure hope they didn't decide to take a chance on that Wahlburger sandwich.
I cannot
Hopefully
imagine
they just
that
stuck with the Fireball and the Diet Coke.
Yes.
anyone would eat something left over in a hotel fridge.
I mean,
You'd have
I
to
don't
be
know.
really hungry.
I feel
You
like
have a job. They're
I feel
probably
like
okay.
I feel like I know people that would do
Mm,
that. Like it was in it's not like it was just a sandwich sitting in the refrigerator. Like it's in the container.
But it's
Yeah,
also
I
in the
bite out of
container
it.
and it's a sandwich sitting in the refrigerator.
I took my my leftover Fireball, which was not a lot, but it was enough to take home. I still had a good bit of vodka left over. My super duper respectful, awesome roommates left like thieves in the night, like I was a hooker with some money left on the counter.
That
Who
was
are
us.
they? I can't imagine. They sound like the kind of people who'd eat a sandwich out of a refrigerator.
They were so quiet. I woke up when the door closed behind you guys, and I was like, "Okay, bye, guys," and just went back to sleep until like
I didn't want
11.
to wake you up. You were
No, I
really good.
appreciate that. You guys are the best roommates ever. Roommates for life.
Oh yeah.
These two wake up at like 7 a.m.
I know.
Though. It's ridiculous.
Even after going to bed at 3 a.m. So like once
You
you
don't
guys,
need it.
once I got up and you guys were gone, I was like, well, let me just pile up all the towels. I took all the towels, put them in a nice pile, and made sure I cleaned up everything and took everything I wanted to take, and then was like, tip out.
Oh, yeah.
What was your loadout experience, Oz?
Oh God, it was like
It involved us.
schlepping down the street.
It
What?
was- Well, I actually I started kind of getting my shit together before attempting to go to the slam, and then I went to the track room afterwards, like at like 2:30 or something like that,
Yeah.
and was planning on just saying hi real quick, and didn't leave there till like after 5,
What?
and so yeah, I got pretty loaded.
What
And
were they doing
so
in the
I
trap
got
room?
back and I drunkenly finished packing, and then I got up at like 8 and then loaded out. And yeah, we had to take all of my stuff several blocks to the car, and I had quite a bit of shit. I mean, like 2 suitcases, 2 book bags.
How did Ryan and Nicole get roped into this?
Well, because I was staying with them, my car was at their place.
Oh.
And they had their car on site. See, normally I Uber back to my car, wherever it is, and then come back and then load out and then, and then park and then usually make a dealer's room run on Monday, which we actually did. But they had their car on site. So we're like, well, we'll just take the stuff over there. And they didn't want to, had they left, they would have had to pay to repark.
Right.
So we're like, we'll just walk it over there. And it wasn't horrible.
No, it wasn't.
But it was, we got it over there. It was great. They were awesome.
We made it
They
work.
they were my Sherpas.
Yeah, it was
that's
it was
teamwork.
like 2.5 blocks or something like that. But we did it.
Yeah, we made it. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's not as far as we used to haul the game show stuff. I'm glad I'm glad we didn't have to do that this year.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah, the way that the loadout for the game show worked out was pretty much perfect.
Loading out straight into a dumpster. Let's do that every year.
Yeah,
That's solid as fuck.
Here's a little revelation, and we should have documented this, but I think we were also
Yeah. I was like on a high. Just like
I wasn't drunk, but it was a post-show high.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't
it was
drunk
just
yet
like,
because
God, everything went fucking good.
Yeah, I didn't drink before the show, so like I had my 1 flask with me, so like up to it, but I wasn't even drunk after the show. But for the listeners who might have seen one of the iterations of the Big Damn Game Show, the Kessel Run Plinko is no more. We decided that
let's all raise a glass.
toast.
Moment of silence for Kessel Run
to
Plinko.
Kessel Run Plinko. We all decided we've used it 2 years, and basically nobody wanted to haul it. And because if you've seen it, and if you go to Instagram, Phantom Troublemaker, you can find pictures of it. It's very large. It's very heavy. Oz makes everything that he creates out of maple. So it's all like the heaviest, most
Mahogany.
you can probably that little. I cannot believe how. And we kept from Danger Zone. We kept the aircraft carrier. That's in my storage room right now. I can't believe how heavy that thing is.
You guys were all still standing around chit-chatting. So Rebecca and Christian, Rebecca and I started loading stuff off stage. Christian had to help me pick up the aircraft carrier because I picked it up and I was just like, oh God.
It's not.
Why is this made of the hardest wood ever?
Well, and the funny thing about it is it could be like foam core because it doesn't really do anything. It just sits there. But Oz is a man who is serious about his craftsmanship.
Well, and here I'll tell you what it's made out of and why. It's made out of 3/4 door grade MDF, which is like a really dense MDF.
Dude.
And the reason is because I had that on my table.
Right.
I had some room, and I would just sneak it in. And I literally had to cut stuff. I hope my boss isn't listening to this podcast because I just snuck it in with all the other stuff I was cutting for all the other stuff that I had to do. And I just, that's
well, it's not. I mean, it's not massive. Matter of fact, it's a tiny amount. You couldn't even make a third of a door out of this. You couldn't make a mouse door out of this.
Well, that's why I was confused as to how heavy it was. It was like, I can pick this up easy. I don't need a man to help me with this. Oh God, I need a man.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. But
Dave was like running around the con screaming, "I need a man." I was like,
"What?" The whole time, and Ryan was like, "I'm right here,"
and you're like, "No, real man."
So let's go back to the beginning though. This time we're recording this Friday night, which is kind of weird because shows usually go up on Friday. I don't know if I've ever recorded on a Friday night, but we're all old and lame and don't have anything better to do. So we're going to talk about how much better last weekend was than this weekend. Yep. So this time last week we were getting ready for the game show. But prior to that, I think we all got down there Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And for me personally, it took literally until I got to the Hilton on Thursday for me to really start feeling anything about Dragon Con. Like I had zero hype. I just hadn't let myself get excited because until probably the week before, I still didn't totally believe it was going to happen. Due to the, all the circumstances in the world. If you're listening to this 30 years from now, it was the first pandemic still. So I had done this thing where I kind of closed it off in the back of my brain. And then once I got down there, I was like, I can't believe I'm down here. I can't believe I'm in the Hilton. I can't believe I'm checking into the Hilton, which by the way, the Hilton app caused me nothing but grief this year. I don't recommend it. I know people who've used it without problem whatsoever. It was a giant pain in the ass for me. Just normal check-in is the way to go. But once I was checking in, once I was down there, I started to kind of feel it. How did you guys? Did you have a similar experience? Were you able to get hyped and not worry about letdown?
I had like a similar thing as you. Like I almost intentionally was like, I was excited, but I was like muted excited because I was also like super fucking anxious about it. I always like have this weird anxiety about like getting into the hotel, especially at Dragon Con. And then this year we had done like a room swappy thing. So I was like even more anxious than normal. And so I just kept focusing on like, I just got to get in the hotel and get checked in successfully. And then I can relax and get excited. And so like, once we were checked in and they handed me the key, I was like, oh shit, like I'm at Dragon Con. This is really happening. And then I kind of like allowed myself to relax and start experiencing it and like looking around and being like, oh, I'm here at my Dragon Con. Yay, I'm so excited. And pounding vodka and shit like that. So yeah, I was very like I just held everything in up until we finally got in the hotel. And then I was like, woohoo.
I was just happy to like fucking like I'm still on a high of like anytime I'm doing anything that's like not sitting at home or being at work, I'm just like, yay. Like I love it.
Yeah.
So I was just excited like from the get-go. Like maybe not normal it definitely nothing about it was like felt like normal.
Yeah.
But I definitely was just as hyped as ever.
Well, I got down there a little earlier than you guys, and I just left my bags at the hotel. I was like, they'll be fine here because I'm staying here. So left my bags, went to go get my badge at the Hyatt, and immediately walking, like the crowds Thursday afternoon were not bad going into the Hyatt, but I get into the Hyatt and I'm
Are you sure you don't mean the Sheraton? I think you mean the Sheraton. Don't you get your badge from the Sheraton?
Thank you for explaining to me where I pick up my media badge. Thank you. Thanks so much for that. I've only been getting one for 6 years. I have no idea where to pick up a media badge, so thank you. I only get the emails that tell me where I'm supposed to pick up my badge every year.
I think was the Sheraton, though.
But I think it's the Sheridan, though, right?
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Anyway.
I went to the wrong place and I still ended up with a badge, I guess. So it worked out. But
Anyway.
the crowds were not bad, but it was still, that is the most people I've been around in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I still had a moment of anxiety where I walked in and it's just like, too many people, too many people. But everybody was so great about wearing masks all weekend. I never felt uncomfortable. I never felt, besides the discomfort of wearing the mask, which, deal with it. But everybody was very good about keeping their masks on. Everybody was very good about keeping as much distance as physically possible. There were some lines that were not distanced at all, but it took me a minute to kind of ease into that. All right, it's okay. I can be here. It's all right to be here. And then eventually, after the drinks kicked in, I was able to relax into it a little bit.
Well, and that was something, not only about us, but about pretty much everybody down there that I was impressed at, because, we had kind of joked before about like, well, once we get shit hammered, what's going to happen? And what happened is we were shit hammered with masks on.
Yeah, we did really good.
Yeah.
Everybody down there,
Dragon Con did really good.
97% of the people, I couldn't, when I think back over the weekend, I can't picture like one face or one moment where I looked at someone and thought they need to get it together a little bit and put their mask back on. Like, I don't remember having a problem, and you guys know me, I have problems with people all the time. I don't remember having a problem with anybody about that the whole time we were down there.
No, I was actually kind of surprised. I thought it was going to sort of devolve as well.
Yeah.
And I went into it like the same way. I was like, I'm going to be as safe as possible. But at the same time, I was like, I need normalcy. I need this. I need to come out of the fucking house, and it was super important. So I was like, well, we're just going to play it by ear, see how this goes. And man, virtually everyone was doing the same thing. Like, taking a drink, putting the mask back on, taking a drink, putting the mask back up.
And not even the bullshit where like you go to Walmart and people are there with like the mask on their chin or whatever.
No.
Which by the way, look, the deal is if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, right? So if you're wearing a mask, my assumption is you're proud that you're not vaccinated, but like wear it right. If you're gonna if you're dumb enough to wear the mask in the wrong spot, just be dumb enough to lie and walk around without a mask. Like, it's so bizarre to me.
Yeah, at this point in the pandemic, that is a weird thing.
Yeah,
you're making some sort of choice. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Well,
You're making a choice.
I do know now 2 people personally who are vaccinated and tested positive for the virus. So, I mean, better safe than sorry,
Oh
but
yeah,
there is
Yeah.
no better safe than sorry when you're wearing it around your fucking chin.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. That
Why?
boggles my mind. But
I mean,
I
you just
didn't
put
even
it on
see
your
that.
forehead. Whatever. It's the
I
same.
didn't even see that down there. Like people were fully properly masked up. It was great. We got to get back to our original point though. Oz. Now you're typically on an average day a joyous little gnome of a man. I imagine you being full bore excited, like good to go, can't wait, no reservations whatsoever.
Sort of. I mean, I like everyone else had my apprehension about this Dragon Con because of the world that we live in, because of and we talked about it, like what's gonna happen, and we have to wear masks, and is that gonna, once we get drunk, is that all gonna devolve into chaos and whatever, and as we just mentioned, it didn't. But
well,
it did.
Just not with the mask.
But it was masked chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
It was mass chaos.
It was like Bane.
I laid on a public
plenty
floor
of
at one
chaos.
point.
That was the weirdest part of the weekend.
With the
Which
mask
you
on.
would never do in non-pandemic times.
No,
Yeah.
no.
The laying on the floor, that's going to come from this end of the room.
Yeah, that was.
I really just you guys that night. What was that? Saturday night, I think.
Yes.
I have never in my life felt more like before we make any more decisions, I really do just have to lay down.
You were
Because we
laying
were trying to figure out what to do, and I said that's fine. Let's go do something, but I just need to lay down while
You were like that meme with that little kid, like at the ocean. That's just like, I just lay down right here. Like that was you.
That was the night though that brought me the most joy I've ever had from watching you, was because watching you turn redder and redder and redder from trying to go "Burr, burr, 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 burr," and failing, and you had tears coming out of your eyes and your face just turned so red because you were laughing so hard.
Wait, we
trying to do
gotta
it.
Ryan, have you got the app?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus Christ. Are we going to do this again?
Oh yeah.
I think we have to.
So that's the thing. Ryan, do it one more time.
God.
So that's whatever that is. And Ryan and Oz would. That's your cue to do the thing. No, with your.
No, this was before we had the app. Ryan didn't
Yeah,
download
with your
the
mouth.
app till
Yeah,
later.
this is just
No,
with the
we were
mouth.
doing it before.
Smash
the
that
app.
like button. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, see, you can do it now.
No, I can.
That
I mean,
wasn't
I can
bad.
kind of half-ass do it. This was purely for the entertainment of the people.
See, we were convinced
So-
you were trolling us.
I was for hours.
I was half convinced you were
For-
trolling us.
I wasn't 100% sure, which is why I kept asking you to do it. And I
Right.
was like, really?
Right.
And you were like, well, I'm sure you thought at some point he's going to be so drunk that he forgets he's faking this.
Yeah.
And for hours, I'd be like,
You argued that it was a D sound for hours as
Yes.
well.
Well, that once you
Like,
got
it's
the
a
app,
D sound. Do it again.
and that's once you got the app, I was like, what are you even talking? You guys aren't doing it right either. It's do 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 do. It was great.
This is a group of grown adults, and we're just
We're-
wandering
we're
around
arguing-
making like sound effects.
Well, okay. Adults.
We're
I don't know
arguing
about
over a rap
grown.
one.
Yeah.
So yes, this was Saturday night. That went on for many, many hours. And then eventually I laid down, and then
And then we
somebody
got food.
On the
somebody-
floor.
on
in
the
a
floor
hotel.
of the Marriott.
Yes.
I think it was near the echo chamber, right? That big glass dome. I
Yep.
think it was like right there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
I can't
then
help but making noise like when I'm walking through that area.
yeah.
Oh, you got it. Yeah.
And then somebody said Metro Diner. And the thought in my head was, well, I guess we're just going to go sit for 3 hours in front of the Metro Diner waiting to eat. and somebody else can take up the story from this point.
Christian did magic.
Yes.
That's the only way I can explain it. So
No, there were so many people in line.
we get our little like Ferris Bueller daisy chain of people.
Because like all weekend we kept making the mistake of like, hey, it's like partial attendance, so everything's going to be slim, which was true in some cases, but most of the time we were wrong.
Yeah.
Anytime eating was involved, we were wrong.
I don't
So
know. I
like
think we did.
we waited for like 3 hours just to get a fucking burger at Wahlburgers. But we went to the Metro
But
Diner.
we got seated right away, though.
Right,
Yeah,
we
but
got
then
to sit
sat
down.
there and we
Because
occupied
Christian
that
is
seat
mag-
for 6
magic.
days.
Yeah.
Well, no. We're Wahlburgers.
Oh,
We got
okay.
to sit
Yeah, I
down right
skipped
away.
That.
Yeah.
Luckily.
But then, like, Wahlburgers was not busy. They just only had 2 people working.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
literally like a waiter and a
And a
cook
cook.
in a full restaurant.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I thought the waiter was trying so hard to like keep his shit together.
Yeah,
but
he
that
was
poor
great.
Guy.
He was.
Yeah.
he got
I think he was
got a good
actually
tip.
cooking the hamburgers too.
Oh.
He may
Actually,
have.
everybody that weekend that I dealt with got a really good tip because I feel like
Yes.
everyone was working their
Yeah.
asses off.
Yeah,
So much.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah,
strolled into
overall-
the Metro Diner.
Well, I
It
just
was like-
squeaked for some reason.
It like what 3 a.m. ish, maybe. I
Mm,
don't know.
ish.
So we roll in there at like peak Metro Diner time.
Yes.
You know, Saturday night, Sunday morning.
have a
Where people are lining the steps,
Yeah.
Mhm.
waiting.
And I literally walk up to one of the people on the steps and I'm like, is this line just to like put in your name? And they were like, yes. And then somehow our boy Christian just walked right through this sea of people.
Walks up there, says like 3 words.
I don't know what he
to
said,
the-
but then we got
The
some-
hostess, and he just puts his hand up like,
and he's like, come
like-
on, guys.
And he's like,
Come on,
this
guys.
way.
and I was
Yeah.
like, well, are we gonna go wait for our table somewhere else?
Nope.
And just walks us to a table for
and we
6.
sit down immediately.
Sat down and got our order taken, and it was. I still don't know how it
Yeah,
happened.
he had no explanation. He's just like, I know how to handle shit. And
It
we're
was
just
gay
like, wow.
magic.
Gay magic.
Yeah, I was like,
It was
Christian,
gay
did you
magic.
just do some gay magic? And he was like, yes, I did. And I was like, well, I'm
yeah,
really, I feel blessed that I got to see it.
I have a feeling it was money magic,
Maybe
Probably.
Maybe.
but either
But-
way, it was magic.
it was beautiful.
And,
Christian is magic.
Yeah.
He is magic regardless.
Yes.
If it was money magic, then props to him for not being that guy that brags about like, you know, tipping well to get
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
going like,
probably.
hey, you guys owe me.
You
because
mean
I
you
got
mean
us
like
this
I just
table."
did? So that night, sitting at that table, I haven't had to get it together in a long time. I mean, at least since 2 years ago at Dragon Con, but I don't think I don't think I had the opportunity to get it together. I think it just got away from me. I don't like that get it together where you're drunk as shit and you don't want to throw up on your friends. Like,
Well,
That's
that's
kinda-
why we thought food would be good for you.
and food was the absolutely the answer, but I'm sitting there between I think Christian and Beth,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there
Yeah.
with my hands on the
you
table.
were across from me, so thanks for
And
not.
I'm just swirling in my own head.
You were slightly swaying.
Yeah, I'm sure I
A
was.
little bit.
You were
I'm
slightly
sure
swaying.
I was. And then like the first French fry that got into my mouth, I was like, all right, I'm good. And ate. I got my patty melt French fries, magical, wonderful. Did
Yeah,
the
Metro
trick.
Diner kind of kicks ass.
But
Yeah.
It
then
always does.
so we got
It's great drunk food.
it together, we got recharged, and then we all went to bed. Like that's way
Well, because we couldn't get into
For
anything.
DJ.
Yeah, we couldn't find the fucking secret DJ.
It's
That's
too secret.
right. There was okay, because that was one aspect of Dragon Con this year, and there were honestly the whole time was pretty much an up, but there were a couple of downs, and one of the downs was it just didn't seem like there were as many parties,
No.
or there were a couple of times where due to the limited capacity we couldn't get into things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because normally at Dragon Con you have two options. you can get in line for something 2 hours. And I understand you can't get in line until an hour before, but we all know the reality. You get in line for 2 hours, even if that means like standing around a patio near where the line is going to be. So our options were wait 2 hours to get into something, or typically at Dragon Con, you can wait until like half an hour or so after it starts and just walk in.
Yep.
Mhm.
And that wasn't the case this year because they were conscious of capacity. They were limiting the number of people that could be in rooms. And we had a couple of instances, the Puppet Slam and then I think 1 or 2 dance parties where we thought we were going to do the walk-in and they
It
were
happened
like,
like
no,
3 times.
Yeah.
we're buttoned up.
There's
think-
normally like 4 or 5 dance parties or any kind of a party happening at one time, but
Yeah.
you know, it would be like something ends and then it's the closed for cleaning panel instead of something ends and then the dance party immediately starts right after that. So there was huge lags in between stuff. So there would be something that would end at 1 or 2 a.m. and the next thing didn't start until 3 a.m. And at 3 a.m., I cannot stand in line for an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that was the problem.
I can't. If
Right.
I
Yeah.
lose momentum
I know.
at 3 a.m., I'm out.
We tried to go to Zombie Prom, I think, after the
Yes.
game show.
We
And
tried
it
to go
already
twice.
started at like 10. So I figured, oh, well, we'll just roll up in there. And we went down there to where the line started and to walk to the back of the line. And it literally, the back of the line was the front of the Hilton.
Also,
Like it went all the way down around to the front of the hotel. I've never seen anything like it.
that's also
And-
like every year. That's like my least favorite thing that I do
Yes.
at Dragon Con. So I'm
Yeah.
okay with this.
I was going to say the fact that there's a line that big to the zombie prom tells you how bad things have gotten limited at
It
the
was-
nightlife.
Spoiler,
zombie
it has
prom.
nothing to do
He
with
was
zombie
starved for
or prom.
entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's so desperate for something to do. Everybody's going to the zombie prom.
But yeah, it felt like there weren't quite as many things scheduled either, which is understandable because I know there was a
Yeah.
lot of attrition amongst the volunteers and even amongst some of the planners. So,
Yeah.
we all kind of did the best we could.
The variant ball was fun for the brief time we had there before the Troublemaker party, viewing party.
Yes, which was my next bullet point here. Very, very last minute. This was a bad way to kind of kick things off on Thursday night because the Dragon Cut, which is just no dirty words, of Troublemaker, which is the documentary shot by Jason C. Wilson about me. Excuse me, Emmy Award-winning Jason C. Wilson. The Dragon Con wanted to show it on Dragon Con TV, and a couple weeks ago, Wilson rushed to put together an edit for them. We sent it to them, and then for some reason they didn't download it. And 2 hours before it was supposed to premiere at 11:30, they sent me an email like, "Hey, we can't access the file." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't access the file? It's been available for 2 weeks."
Right.
And they couldn't get to it. So once again, very, very last minute, a poor drunk Wilson re-uploaded the file, and then I never heard anything back from them. So that was kind of a like, well, fuck it, if they can't show it, I guess. And then live in the Classics track room at 11:30, we were simulcasting. So we thought, although you should know better at Dragon Con, the full version of Troublemaker with all the dirty words. And we get in there, and first the video won't play, then the audio won't play, and then it was I would call it a disaster because even once Schweck Ops and Cadaver Co got things running, it still, like, the audio sounded like it was coming out of the Jolly Green Giant's butthole.
And it was slightly off too.
And it was
And 2
off.
second
Yes.
delay,
Well,
yeah.
that's the Jolly Green Giant. His butthole's like way up there. So by the
That's
time
true,
the
yeah.
And
audio-
it takes a second.
right,
Yeah,
right.
no,
It takes
right.
time
Well,
to try.
all you have to do is
that's
drink
exactly
enough to
right.
make that make sense.
Well, and that's what we did.
Yeah, your brain doesn't get bothered.
There
by
was a moment where I forgot that it was off, and
Yeah.
like because I was so drunk, and then like all of a sudden I was like, "Wait, what the fuck's happening right now?" I'm like, but that being said, you know what? We had a good time, but like there was nothing we could have done other than Tech Ops showing up.
no,
And
we did the
There was
best
a
we could.
literal bad connector there. So
Yeah. And well,
But
and that was the next morning. we were told in the most jovial of manners, "Hey, the audio works now." I was like, "Oh,
Hooray.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Good job, everybody." But it was still, we had a blast. It was
We did it.
it was disheartening, but we still had fun. We still had a great time, and we will there will be more screenings of Troublemaker in the future.
Is that the night we went to the arcade for the first time? Or
Yeah.
was it Friday
Yeah.
night? Okay.
Was it?
Yeah, we went
Yeah, we went a couple
right
times.
after that, really.
So I think that being the case, then I think we have to tell about Ryan and I's deadly Mortal Kombat rivalry,
Milk sack.
Oh, were you gonna bust his milk sack?
wherein his youthful milk sack is in danger from my kung fu.
Yeah. So basically, this feud's been going on this is year 3.
Well, how it started is you guys know me. I don't like talk shit as far as I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm gonna I don't do that ever because I'm just not good enough at anything to talk shit like that. So if I am talking shit like that, it's because I know I'm so bad at whatever it is, it's going to be comical when I get my ass beat. Like, that's what I do. So
right.
it would have been 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I think I post a fucking video on your Facebook page, I think.
You posted a video like threatening me, like I'm gonna beat your ass in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started the trash talk early.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I knew I sucked ass at Mortal Kombat. So I wanted to do this huge build up of course, this is how things always go in my head. Oh, this is a really funny fucking idea. Okay, this is what we can do. This is going to be so funny. Everybody is going to laugh so fucking hard at this. And then there's always a disconnect between the setup and there being an everybody. That's my whole problem, is getting an everybody. Because it always ends up just being me and the people that I've involved in the joke.
Yeah.
Like, we never have the audience that I imagine in my head when I first, because in my head, when I sent that video to you, or when I posted that video on your Facebook page, there were going to be like 200 people around us to watch you. Yes. To watch you just whip the shit out of me at Mortal Kombat.
Do you think that you're a part of Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yes, that's what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
So I post on Ryan's Facebook page, I post this just shit talking like, "I'm going to whip your punk ass, you sorry motherfucker. You don't even know what's coming for you." Something ridiculous, way over the top. And then we get down, my thought was we'll get down to Dragon Con and we'll, post about it on Facebook or something. I don't know how I thought we were going to get people to give a shit about this, but that's what I thought. And then eventually we did get to the arcade place and I was like, "Oh, it's time, motherfucker. Are we doing this? We're doing this. Let's go." And then I whooped your fucking ass.
Yeah, you did.
It was ridiculous. Never in my wild, and thank goodness people were not there, because then I would have just looked like a giant douchebag. Because the whole plan was
More than usual?
like he was, well, right, I know. But the whole thing was, I figured he would just cream me in 2 rounds and I was going to run away crying. Like, that was the whole plan. And then I killed him.
Yeah.
And
Fucking destroyed me. You were Sub-Zero, I was Kung Lao.
And it was part of my magical night, because then I went on to play some driving game, and I fucking don't even like driving games, and like got high score or some shit. I don't know what was going on that night. And then the year after that,
You were in the zone.
I was 100% in the zone. And then the year after that, we had a Mortal Kombat rematch, and I think you did just whip my ass in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So this year was going to be the rubber match, where again, I assumed you were just going to kill me. So we go to the video. We go to the video game place, which was not on the grounds this year. It was in some dingy little bar.
It made me sad, because the arcade has been a highlight.
Yes, it's usually this fantastic wonderland, like a whole floor of the America's
It was much smaller.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it usually is so much like the 2019. It's attached to the hotel that we stayed at.
Oh,
in
that's right.
It was
And
in the
yeah.
America's Mart, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
every night on the way home, Sharon and I would go stop by the arcade, and it was so much sensory overload. I could not sleep at night because I had flashing lights in my face when I tried to close my eyes.
I mean,
And this year it was just kind of a dank hole with some pinball machines and a Mortal Kombat and a X-Men game that you couldn't change the characters on, so I had to play as Cyclops the whole time.
ew.
I know.
It was like literally like a hole in the wall like you'd find in like Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I will say this: if I was just in Myrtle Beach and I saw that place, it would fucking rule.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because I'd be like, this is a sweet ass little arcade. This is awesome. But yeah, you're right. Like compared to Dragon Con's past,
I
it
get
was
why
tough.
they had
Yeah.
to scale it back because they can't clean
Right.
all the games that they had there, that they usually have. How do you clean all those games all the time?
But
You
were
do-
they actually cleaning those games? Because I didn't see anybody cleaning anything.
Well, that's why they only had 5 games.
No, I licked every one of them and checked.
So
They did have a.
I thought that's
sick
why
ass
Oz
DJ,
got
though.
sick.
Yeah, like
Oz was licking the keys.
that's not the joystick he was licking.
Hey.
So we
the
get
DJ in the arcade was awesome though.
Yes, that was
Yes,
the
I
best
agree.
DJ I saw all weekend.
best music
Yeah.
we heard the whole
Yeah,
time
that
we were
was
down there.
absolutely the
Yeah,
best.
they
music
needed
Dragon
that
Con.
guy playing the variant party.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this place has Mortal Kombat, and we're like, well, I guess we're doing it again, aren't we? All right, let's do this. And again, the big crowd of people not watching us. But I beat you in the first round,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, is it gonna happen again? Yes, let's do this. And then you just fucking killed me 2 rounds straight. Because why did you kill me, Ryan?
Because I learned how to throw a hat. That's really why.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't know any finishing moves because Killer Instinct was my game. It was never Mortal Kombat. So Noel and I were playing. I think I beat it. We did about half and half, but it would say finish him, and then I would just walk up and be like, pew, and
Right,
slap
right.
him, and he would die.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think you were just defending the honor of your milk sack.
Yes.
So that's why
It's-
you won.
And that's important. You got to do
But
that.
I will say next year, I'm making a fucking promise right now. Not only will I beat you, but
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to remember and learn a finishing move and perform it on you in front of 200 people.
I really will cry and run out of the room if you do that. I will.
We will have to make a Facebook event for that. I will publicize it.
You
Yeah.
know what? I think I might have made an event for the first one.
Probably, yeah.
The Facebook events mean fucking nothing.
Yeah.
But we should do it anyway. We should make a big deal out of it.
I'm just gonna click interested on it.
Right. Maybe.
That's what I do for every like event that Ryan like
It
every
pisses me off.
every
like,
time the band plays
it really
everything.
pisses me
I
off.
go and I just click interested, and he gets so mad.
But
Look,
that
And he's like, "You're my ride. You're going." I'm like, "I'm interested."
realistically, interested has the same net effect as going because it shows up in people's Facebook feeds that Nicole is interested in this event. So
Yeah.
it really
Right.
does have the same effect. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah.
And
it's
it pisses off my husband. So bonus, double bonus.
It
Added,
pisses
added
me-
bonus.
It pisses me off more when it's our drummer. Because I'm like, how in the fuck are you not going? Like,
Well, that's
It
that's
happens.
why every time Dave posted something for Dragon Con, I was like, should I say I'm interested?
Hey, I wish more people were interested in what I was doing.
fuck.
So let's see here. What do we got? Oh, we got to talk about this. So we made some time on, was it Saturday where we went to the dealer room, or was it Friday?
That was
We went-
Friday.
We went 2 days.
Friday.
Well, okay, so Friday I went to the Chris Claremont panel, and then you guys vanished, and I didn't hear from anybody for like hours.
Anybody can use Messenger.
And I did. I messaged you guys when I got out of the Chris Claremont panel. I was like, "Hey, where is everybody?" And then like 4
And
hours
I said
later,
I'm going to the room to rest.
that was 4 hours later.
I rested for 4 hours.
But you told me 4 hours
It happened.
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's right. And I'm going to look it up right now.
All right. It was many hours
because
later.
this stuff is time stamped. So
you're
tell us.
You're gonna go back through all those messages.
Bet your butt I am. I'm putting on my
we're gonna
reading
be here all
glasses.
His reading
damn
glasses
night.
on.
Young Missy. Well, tell us about the Chris Claremont panel, because he is, of course, like he's the guy that got me collecting comics.
So it wasn't just Chris Claremont, and I did not know this at the time. It was also Paul Jenkins and Joe Rubenstein. So it was multiple Wolverine writers and artists.
Is that better or worse?
It was actually better.
Okay.
Because, well, okay, Joe Rubenstein, a little cynical about it, because he said, yeah, people ask me all the time what it was like to draw Wolverine covers, and I'm just like, well, it was a job. Okay, well, that's not what people want to hear.
Yeah,
That's not
right.
what we're here for.
That's not what people are interested in. But Chris Claremont got to talk a lot about working with Frank Miller, which was, of course, fucking cool.
Right.
And then because, now I forgot any other guy's name, Paul Jenkins later wrote Wolverine, they got to compare notes and stuff on what each of them did. And he was like, yeah, I don't have to ask how Chris felt about the stuff that I wrote for Wolverine, because he told me he fucking hated it.
So
Wow.
I have found the message. Would you like to hear the timestamps of the message?
More than
Please.
anything.
Beth, if I sit around here much longer, I'll fall asleep. Going out to wander. This is September 3rd at 5:05 p.m.
And that is not the first message I sent. The first message I sent would have been, hey, I'm out of the panel. Where are you guys?
I'm refreshed. What's everybody doing? September 3rd at 4:22 p.m.
That's not the first one either.
September 3rd. Let's see. Okay. 3:54. I came back to the Sexy Blue Hotel to change and eat something real quick. So presumably you're changing and eating something for about half an hour.
And then nobody responded, so I'm waiting and waiting. So finally I'm like, all right, let me message again, because I don't want to be Oz where I'm blowing people up every 30 seconds.
I don't feel like half an hour is an unreasonable amount of time.
It's not.
4:22, I'm refreshed. What's everybody doing? You get no response there. 40 minutes later at 5:05, if I sit around here much longer, I'll fall asleep. Going out to wander.
Because nobody was responding.
5:06. I'm about to head back to the room to rest. So 3:54 to 5:06, barely 1 hour.
Barely 1 hour in Dragon
1
Con
hour.
time.
And
So-
half an hour of that you were refreshing and eating.
No, I was just
I
bored.
feel like your complaint is unreasonable.
And then on my way to America's Mart after you guys.
Well, I know we ran by you and gave you the finger and we're like, later, loser.
That's what
Actually,
happened, yeah.
Actually,
I rollerbladed.
Wait, did we do that?
no, but very close. When you said about 20 minutes after you said, I'm going back to the room to go to sleep or rest or whatever it was you were doing, I was walking towards America's Mart and I saw you guys walking the other way down the road. And I was like, oh, okay.
I was going back to the room to rest.
Mhm.
It takes a minute to get places,
And-
especially going to the
and
Hilton.
You get an excuse. Everybody else,
That's true. That's
not
very
so
true.
much.
I was communicating. I was
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to keep you in the loop.
Oh, here's my excuse. I don't look at my phone when I'm at con. Like I get drunk and I walk around.
That is
That's my
true.
excuse.
That is verifiable fact.
Yeah.
I
Actually, I had like 3 other friends that got super pissed at me because like they were messaging me all weekend. Like, hey, I'm right here. I just saw you were here. Where are you at? And like I never responded to anybody at all.
I
And
I didn't
if
even
it-
look.
Yeah.
If it had been Oz, I'd have been like, where are you guys? What are you doing? Is my phone working?
It's
Are
Oz
you guys
can
paying
make
attention to me?
you- Like Oz will call and text so many times.
well,
I'm
this
talking Thursday when we were
I
getting
was
into our hotel room.
bored.
Oz.
this is why I said next year I'm gonna get one of those baby papooses to put on my chest, and we're
You
just
put
gonna
Oz
put
in it.
Oz
Yeah.
in it, so that I can just carry him around.
I have
And
another suggestion.
Okay.
Can we do like the families at Disney where we all get matching shirts that say like Goof Troop or whatever, and then we have like signs.
Oh yeah.
Flags.
The
Yeah,
flag.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then
right.
that way,
Or do we need to get Oz and Beth those little leashes? Little
Monkey backpacks.
Oh yeah, the backpack, the little.
I want
tiny
a monkey backpack with a
the
big
leash
tail.
on it.
Backpacks.
No, it was just that one day.
It was just.
It was just that one time.
No, wait, no, come
And-
back.
And I got so excited looking at lightsabers. I was like, friends who?
Did you find the lightsabers? I never even
Yes.
saw them in the dealer
Oh,
room.
they're so good. They were
We
on
found
the
them.
first floor.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the only dealer there was Ultra Saber, and they're
Yeah.
horrible.
They're horrible. Why are they
Yeah,
horrible?
They have. I mean, they're an LGT company.
We don't want to get sued. Why are they allegedly horrible?
No, well, you can go online and find all kind of like threads
Oh,
about
really?
it. But their
Oh,
customer
wow.
service is horrible. They don't build them well because they get all their parts just like a lot of companies from China, and they
Sure.
assemble them. They assemble them themselves. Their assembly is not up to par. Their customer service is horrible. People have waited months and months for sabers. So I'm not an Ultra Saber fan. I don't have one.
I mean, I have a lot of lightsabers, and they were expensive for what they looked like they were. They looked
Yeah.
nice, and in my nerdy hands, it looked really pretty.
Oh,
I
they have
one.
some nice hills. Don't get me wrong. I've been tempted before, drunkenly scrolling on a Saturday night at home, and almost bought one. But yeah, there's customer service is not good.
Well, it seems to me like
That's documented.
it seems to me like the answer is to buy it at con, so you don't have to worry about how long they take to ship it, how like any of that. You just you get to look at it, you get to see it. Okay, this is it. I'm taking this one. And anything that you buy at a convention, I think you have to be prepared for it to like fall apart or stop working after like 12 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except those are like
Right.
$300 lightsabers. So
Whoa, what?
the cheapest ones they had were the real short blades, and the cheapest ones were like $100, but the really deluxe ones were about $300.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you can also pick them up and hold them, and so I'm like comparing hilts and grips and stuff. I'm going like super deep nerd into it,
Yeah.
and they were
Yeah.
gorgeous. They had some.
Really 300
nice
is
hilts.
not. I mean, you can go. That's about the most I've paid. But I mean, if you go like Profi board NeoPixel, which is like this super uber programmable, you can program like 87 different sound fonts on it.
Who
and
needs
everything.
that though?
I-
Like it's a
Mostly,
lightsaber.
I don't.
The original
I like the
lightsabers
NeoPixel.
only made like two noises. Bwomp, bwomp. Like that's it.
Right.
Well, they also make a sound, but you know,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna spend a shit ton of money on a
Yeah.
lightsaber, I'm gonna go to Galaxy's Edge and build one myself.
When
That's
I was
kinda
a
where
kid,
you're
I
at.
had a lightsaber that was a hollow piece of plastic that only went whoa, whoa, because the wind rushing through it. It was good enough for me.
I've
And
still
then
got
the
something.
little one would get stuck in the middle, and you'd have to like hit it.
Mhm.
against
No,
something.
I didn't even have, dude. I didn't even have that. The one I had when I was a kid didn't even telescope. It was just this long. It was a
Oh.
They
giant.
just had a dirty, broken piece of PVC pipe.
It was a broom.
It was a flashlight.
with a
It was a
flashlight at the
fucking
end of it.
flashlight.
No, when the licensed lightsabers when I was a kid, it had this giant hilt that like 5D batteries went into.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it lit up, but it was just a hollow plastic tube that made a
That was my
noise.
nickname in high school.
When you moved it, the only reason it made a noise was because of the air going through the tube, and it didn't telescope or anything. These kids
That's what she
today that have these telescoping lightsabers, which by the way,
These kids today don't have the telescoping lightsabers, Dave. They have the fancy ones. They
no,
have the Galaxy's
okay,
Edge.
they've got the fancy ones, but you can go into Walmart and you can buy a telescoping one. You
Yep.
can buy one that's like the new. It's not the proper replica one, but there's a dark saber that's actually like super nice, but it's like $30.
I have that one.
Like, yeah, these kids are spoiled and they don't even know it. But Ryan, the one you grew up with, the bullshit one that didn't telescope all the way in,
Yep.
Yes.
it left. What was that? What
The
idiot
nub?
thought that was acceptable?
This shit sucked.
It was
I had the
terrible.
Darth Maul one, so I had 2 little nubs.
I
I
would
I
rather
have
it-
the Darth Maul one with the
His
nubs.
nickname in high school.
I would rather it not even telescope than
Yeah.
leave like 8 inches of lightsaber just out at all times.
Yeah.
This is the dumbest thing ever.
Little
Especially
white
on the
beam.
Sith ones because it's a red rocket hanging out there all the time.
All right. So what brought me to our experiences in the dealer's room, which we had fun walking around. I had the nuggets and tots that they had outside the dealer's room were far, far better than I expected them to be. I had a nice little meal there. But we're walking through, and all of a sudden I hear I was like, what is happening? Is there like some kind of fault in the circuitry in the walls of this place? Is there a plumbing error? What is this noise? And we keep walking, and I'm thinking it's coming from the wall that we're walking beside. And then we go down an aisle, and it's still. And I'm like, what is that noise? And Nicole's like, oh, that's me. That's you. What do you mean that's you?
I did too.
It's her fucking white noise thing.
What? But why? Why is it just going off randomly?
It's just like my ass turned it on.
Just like Ryan.
Hey.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm an ass man.
What? How? How does it? So what is it? Why does your phone make this noise?
Because we sleep with noise. We have to, otherwise we can't sleep.
Now, when you
So-
say we, is this the royal we, or is
No,
this
no,
truly
No, we sleep together.
Yeah, we sleep in the same bed.
right? But if,
No,
if,
it's
if your
okay,
white
I
noise, if your white noise were to be absent, would Ryan sleep just fine?
No. I
wow,
fully,
We
okay.
both need it.
I
Yeah.
fully have like tinnitus from being in bands and being stupid and not.
Oh gosh, I didn't know that. That's horrible.
Well, it's just like so if I'm in a
Yeah, I do too.
I don't hear it now,
Talk
but if
about
I'm in a quiet room, I hear ringing in my ears.
And like with me from so many years in the fire department, if there's a noise while I'm sleeping, if there's an abrupt noise, it will wake me up and my brain goes to fully awake because I just spent so many years having to like be fully
It's
awake.
on. Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't, like how normal people might get like halfway woken up and then be able to go back to sleep. I have to fully like power down again if I get woken up.
yeah.
So for me, and I do have a little bit of the tinnitus, but like mostly it's just like it keeps abrupt external noises from interrupting me at night because once I'm up, it's so fucking hard for me to fall back asleep.
So my wish, because of course I once again in my head things work differently than they do in the real world. When you explained this while we were walking around the room, I'm thinking the white noise turns on and you just fall out. So like we're walking through the dealer's room and the white noise comes on and you just zoom, just go to sleep like a bird who just had a cloth put over its head.
That may happen.
No,
It does make me very sleepy.
I
It makes me
admire
happy.
your guys' ability to instantly fall asleep. Like we would go back to the room, I would go to take a shower, I'd come out of the shower, you guys were out.
Yeah. When I'm fucking in bed. When I'm in bed.
None of that happened.
No.
By the way, they were very
That's just
respectful.
how I phrased it. It was poor.
Believe
phrase.
me, my lady does all the work because I am asleep.
I am out. But yeah, so when I lay
I just
down,
lay there
I
and
am-
have a dick.
I am done. I have no problems with insomnia. I have nothing like that. Like I sleep.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I'm done-
I'm laying there reading, trying to read or do something to get me sleepy, and they're just like,
If it's the right time for me to go to, because my normal sleep schedule would be go to bed at about 2 and get up at about 10. Like that, if I had no responsibilities whatsoever in life,
Me
that would
too.
be my schedule. And when I lay down to sleep at 2-ish or later, I'm out. I go out, no problem at all. I do not have, and if I wake back up, I can go right back. Like
Me
I don't
too.
have the staying
Like
up thing.
when they woke me up when they left on Monday morning, I was like, okay, they're leaving. Okay, bye guys.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
if I'm working at 5 o'clock in the morning and I've gone to bed way earlier than is natural, and then I wake up like after midnight, well, then I'm fucking up, and that sucks. But we're not here to talk about sleep habits anymore. I guess we spent enough time talking about that.
My static ass.
So we talked a little bit about sort of trying to find parties, trying to find music, because that's a big part of Dragon Con for us. I don't know if it is for everyone, but musical entertainment, whether it's a rave, whether it's a DJ, well, I guess that'd be the same thing. Although not really, because we have been to DJ things where it didn't really feel like a rave or a party. Live bands, whatever the case may be. I feel like that was probably the biggest thing that was lacking for me this year.
Yeah.
Because I
for sure.
really never had that great fun musical experience.
Yeah.
There's usually one, whether it's Cybertronic Spree or Calabrese or like DJ Spider or just somebody doing a really fun DJ set.
Yeah.
I feel like we didn't get that this year. That's literally, I think, the only place where I feel lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
I-
Yeah.
100%
it-
agree.
It was pretty barren.
And you know, again, we understand why.
Right. I'm
Uh,
not complaining about it. But,
Yeah, it's
you
just
know,
just a fact. It's
Just,
just how it was.
just what we were missing.
I think the closest thing to DJ fun was probably that porch at the Hilton, which
Hilton patio, yeah.
kind of sucked.
Yeah, the music wasn't.
But yeah, the
I had
music was
fun.
bad. It was, huh?
I kind of had fun at that party though.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
had
you
no
didn't want to
choice.
leave. There
That was the only place to have fun.
one of the nights, like we were going to go do something else, and I could tell you didn't want to go.
I like the porch. I'm a porch partier.
It's not a porch. It's a hotel.
It's a
with
patio.
giant
It's a
patio.
It's a patio.
Yeah.
I said
there's no
porch. That's my
swings.
fault. Oh, if there were swings, that would have been a whole different story. I
There
would have
should
been
be.
in.
Badass.
Oh,
I
what
would
if
still be there.
what if they had like the Holland swings on the patio? Can you imagine at Dragon Con the swings at Six Flags, the chairs?
Oh,
Right.
That would be amazing.
That
It
would
would
be
be-
where I would throw up.
Yeah, right. Well, it would be just a constant circle of vomit just
Nauseous blur.
all night long.
Speaking of nauseous blurs, I don't feel like I had the nauseous blur at any point this year that I did in 2019. You know, partially because we didn't have Noob Thursday.
Right.
I woke up every day. I mean, apart from Saturday with woman troubles, but apart from that, I woke up every day feeling good. Even Monday when we checked out, I just wanted to keep sleeping. It wasn't because I'm like, oh, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I felt
No,
the worst on Friday. I do feel like I personally feel like I went the hardest on Thursday. Like I felt the most fucked up Friday. The rest of the weekend I was fine.
Yeah, I think
I-
I went the hardest on Friday. At the adult puppet improv, we were sitting there and I kept having to close one eye because I was seeing double. Like I was literally seeing two of everything. And I would close one eye and then the other eye, and I was like, it was a very near thing because I was starting to spin a little bit. And the show ended like right at the right time. If it would have gone on another 15 minutes, I might not have made it. But the fact that I was able to get up and just start moving again, I was fine. But yeah, I saw double there for a little bit.
I think
I will say-
Saturday was my big drunk day.
Yeah, Saturday was definitely mine, but I had no hangover mornings.
Because you had Metro Diner.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what saved me. Like Sunday morning would have been bad if we hadn't gone and eaten at Metro Diner.
Yeah.
But yeah, no hangover mornings. You mentioned the Puppet Improv. That was definitely, I think, one of the highlights of what we did.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Especially considering we could not get into the Puppet Slam. Thank God we at least got to do a puppet thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, apparently people couldn't get into the game show because of the same thing.
Oh yeah. I remember. I think we heard that like right before showtime.
It was
I think so.
Christian's friend,
Yeah.
Igor.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
came
yeah.
in.
Came and told, or yeah, that's right. It was after the show.
Yep.
We found out like people weren't able to get in, which is, I mean, look, I feel bad for anybody that couldn't see it. We had two. I think the two major issues were that Dragon Con put down that it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And for anybody listening to this, if you see us attached to a game show, it's going to be an hour-ish. We do not do the big long game shows where
Not
people get up and
anymore.
leave.
No.
So
It's too much.
because
It's
after
much.
we were done, while we were loading out, people were walking up like, "Hey, what happened? Where's the game show?" And I'm like, "You should have fucking been there when it started, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry."
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to like.
And it's not well, it's not their fault because like us, they may have been
Right.
thinking that they could walk up rather than wait in line, they could walk up
Right,
to something
right.
and just come in.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I didn't. That's but we do not do 2.5 hour game shows, and I'm going to do everything I can, which I've done for the past 2 years. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that's corrected for 2022. But yeah, we start on time and we wrap it up in an hour ish. This year was under an hour, and honestly, I think 2019 or 2018 was under an hour as well, or
It
right
was.
at an hour.
It felt
Um,
right to me.
It was
Yes.
perfect and it went so smoothly. I mean,
I
I'm not
would-
impartial, but damn, we killed it.
Yeah, I agree. It was fantastic. I mean, we had a random dude on Facebook that doesn't even know us was
Yes.
posting about it.
yeah.
Right.
Which is
That's awesome.
amazing.
Well,
That's
there was
great.
a guy. There was a guy after the show that was like he had never seen the show, and he was like, "Hey, you guys are great." He's like, "Can I meet the host?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could probably hook that up."
I don't know.
Right.
Hang on, man. Let me go talk to his people.
Yeah.
Let me talk to
I
his
hooked
Let's
it up.
see if
manager.
he's available.
But he was like over the moon with like he thought it was like some, not to say it isn't some big shit, but he was like, "Oh my god, this is like some big shit." Like he loved it. So
We like, we like to have a good time, but we want, I would rather, and this is a play on obviously a common phrase, but I would rather leave people wanting more than have people leaving wanting less.
Yeah.
Well, and I
Right.
think that's the problem when we got to 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that last DirtyCon game show
Yeah.
was just way too long.
And
We were-
also, we were exhausted at the end of it. Like,
Yeah.
we could barely
Yeah.
function by
Yeah.
the time it was over.
and how we feel is very important.
Well, no, I'm saying if we can't handle it by the time it's over, how does the
Well-
audience feel?
Yeah, that's a long time to be on stage with no break.
yeah, it is. It's
You
like
know,
people don't
Speak for
do that.
yourselves, pal. I want to be on that stage as long as I can. Give me
But
that
you
stage,
also
and
like
give me that
should
mic.
take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if we did like an intermission? Everybody would just leave and we'd come back out to an empty house.
Yeah. Like 3 people.
Let's go out to the movies. Or no, let's go out to the snack
Lobby.
bar lobby. Let's go out to the
out
lobby.
the lobby.
All right. Let's see. My next note is ba 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 ba. Oh, so we already covered that. Do, 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 do. Let's go around. Let's start with Oz. Did you have kind of a favorite moment, a favorite thing from this year?
A favorite thing. You know what? I don't know if I could really say like one thing, right? It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just so much. I knew I'd have fun. I mean, I was going to hang out with you guys. We were going to do the show. We didn't really have a whole lot else planned. We were just going to go and have fun. And we did. And I knew that. But it was so much better. And so I was just like running around with you guys, just having a good time. Like, I don't know if there's any one thing that sticks out in particular as like my favorite. The whole thing was just a cacophony of fun, man.
Big word.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, you spoke next. So was there anything specific that, like, looking back, you're just like, man, that was so awesome?
I don't know, man. It was just, you said it yourself. The real night trap was the friends we made along the way. I had so much fun just having like little weekend inside jokes, and we were all laughing about stuff, and like it was dumb, but we were having fun. And I just love that. Like it was like a true bonding experience for all of us.
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
I
closer
think
than
what
ever.
wraps up the con buddies best is that it's dumb, but we're having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Absolutely.
That's accurate. I
just
think
walking around with you guys was my favorite shit of just like endlessly wandering and laughing about dumb shit I don't even remember anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember a couple times like falling down because I was laughing so hard and I don't remember what the fuck it was about.
I remember I also have to give a shout out to the movie pilot that me and Dave were working on called Me Robot. Remember that? It's not necessarily a sequel to iRobot,
But it not necessarily isn't.
Me Robot.
I didn't take notes on that one for some fucking reason. I took notes on. We came up with a new game for the game show.
Yes.
Which I am already. I sent you guys the picture. I'm already shopping for.
Wait.
I actually did take a number of notes, but for some reason I didn't feel like Me Robot. I think because it was so good, I was just like, well, I'll remember this.
There's no way I'll forget that.
No way I'll forget Me Robot.
No way.
Me Robot.
So Beth and Nicole, you guys go first. What was there anything, or is it just the hanging out?
Other than that, being on a panel with Michael Mosley was really amazing to me because
he was so good.
He's so awesome, and I just was. It was like I have this weird like if there's any person on Instagram that I consider like discovering a celebrity on Instagram or whatever, like he's that guy. I just like he's super fucking talented and awesome, and so he walked in, was on our panel, and I was like, holy shit. So,
I know, he sat down next to me. I was like,
yeah, I was like, is that Mike? Because everybody's wearing a mask. So I'm like, that is definitely Michael Mosley. What's happening?
He threatened to cosplay me as
Right.
me going to the U2 concert when I was 16 next year. and I hope he does it.
For the listeners, you will be able to hear that panel in its entirety sometime the next week or so on the Needless Things podcast. All of us and special guest star Michael Mosley, who I consider a close personal acquaintance. Well, what's funny is I know Michael Mosley through Austin Creed. Like, that's the funny part of that. So let me give you guys.
Also would have made me geek out, but
yes, but we're not getting it. Well, he can't officially do anything at Dragon Con.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. So let me give you guys another peek into my head and why my world is constantly filled with disappointment. So when we came up with the idea for the Beastie Boys costumes, in my head, we were going to wear these dope ass, perfect, not just fight for your right to party, but also make some noise Beastie Boys costumes. And don't get me wrong, we had a blast wearing them, walking. We did it 2 nights, we did Saturday and Sunday.
You guys look fantastic.
We had the best time. I think we nailed it.
Yeah.
But in my head, when I came up with this idea, we were going to be Sexy Wolverine 2.0. People were going to be stopping us every 5 feet to take pictures, high-fiving us, asking us to pose. Think like we were going to be the hot shit of Dragon Con. Like that's how big I thought this costume idea was going to be. Not thinking about the fact that not only is the original look that we were having from 1986, 35 years ago, but that even the most recent iteration of these costumes is 10 years old.
Right.
Like, I'm my normal like level of pop culture awareness on this one, where I just don't. I'm not in it. I don't know what people think is cool. I have no idea what the thing like. But in my head, this was going to be such a big deal for like literally.
I thought it was hysterical. If my opinion counts for anything, I thought it was fucking
We
hysterical.
got a good handful of people like
You
yelling
did.
out to us.
No,
and
here's
stuff like
here's
that.
what we got. I got one young lady walking up to me asking if I was Mike D with the leather fisherman hat, the sunglasses, the blue like members only esque jacket, which I gotta say, I think my jacket was pretty fucking on point.
It was.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
And the hat too. I mean,
So
it all worked.
I got one lady
And
one
your
young
VW
lady,
on the chain, that was
right,
amazing.
right. Like we all nailed it. But I had one young lady walk up to me when I was not with Nicole as King Ad Rock, Ryan as George Michael. So I had one young lady when I was not with you guys walk up to me and say, "Oh, are you Heisenberg?" Because
Right.
it did not occur to me that Breaking Bad is more recent and culturally relevant than anything the Beastie Boys have done.
Well,
Right.
because Breaking Bad, he often wore a giant VW symbol on
on
a
a chain, yeah.
I get it though, because this is coming from a guy who used to wear the luchador masks and was always asked if I was Nacho Libre or Rey Mysterio. People are fucking stupid and desperate to make connections to recognize things.
They want to feel like they're
Yes.
in on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And in my case, they never are, because I have no idea what people give a shit about. So whatever you guess I am, I'm not, because I don't know what you think is cool at all. But anyway,
there was one person that said, I said, well, we're 2/3 of the Beastie Boys because Ryan had wandered off.
right.
And she was like, well, at least that's accurate. And I was
Right.
like, God damn.
Cold.
Whoa,
Cold.
too soon.
Yeah,
Yes.
too
Fucked
soon.
up.
It's
Yes,
always
yeah.
too
But-
soon.
But correct.
Yeah.
And we
Not
did
wrong,
get
but still terrible.
we almost fucking blew it though, because at one point we're walking from the Marriott to the Hyatt together,
Oh.
and somebody walks by and is like, "You gotta fight!" And in my head, we're drunk, we're partying, we're having fun, and this
we're
guy
like in the
said,
middle of a conversation.
"So the
Right,
first
we're talking.
and this is how self-involved and insane I am." So he says, "You got to fight." And so my first thought is, "Oh, does he know about the Mortal Kombat thing?"
Yeah, totally.
and then and Ryan, obviously quicker than me, didn't go there, but our brains right about the same time realized what was happening, because I think we both said, "For your right."
Yeah.
Like we
But it also,
got it.
I think Beth pointed out that we did actually wait the correct amount of time before we should have said it.
We were song accurate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although
so it worked.
it's not.
Yeah, if you had
because-
reacted sooner, it would have been weird.
well, and that's
If you
it's
gotta
not-
fight for your right. That doesn't
yeah,
work.
no,
Right.
that's
Yeah, right.
and it's
Gotta
not
be that
because
pop.
we had any idea what was going on.
No, it's because it took a second.
Right.
Well,
but
it's
you
the same
faked
thing
it.
when-
You faked it because you waited the correct number of beats.
Yes.
It's the same thing when people are like, "Oh man, I love that shirt," and you're like, "What the fuck shirt am I wearing?" And you like have to look like that happens.
Well,
to me all.
I did that at
Right.
Meehan's.
Yeah,
At Meehan's, the server
yeah, that's right.
was wearing an NWO shirt, and he took our orders, and I put up the too sweet, and I
sweet.
said, "Too sweet," and he just looked at me and was like, "Is this guy hitting on me?" And I was
Yeah,
like,
it did take him a minute. It
I was
did.
like,
He had to like process
"NWO,
that.
too sweet," and he's like, "Oh."
What just happened?
Dave is now
Oh, it's
silent.
your audio, Dave.
Audio, Dave.
Somebody write a cue card.
He got so fucking excited he just yanked his headset out of the jack.
He's still talking though.
It's our fucking podcast
Is he
now.
still talking?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
is
is.
still talking.
I
We
can
can't
see
hear
Does he
his
not
lips
know?
moving. Nope.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm the host now.
Oh God, it's
Somebody
gonna
get
be.
some 3x5 cards so we can send messages to Dave.
I don't know what you're saying.
It's gonna be as bad as a video game
I'm gonna do
channel.
smoke signals. Is he still talking?
Yes,
still
yes, he
talking.
is.
Dave!
Is
How do
this
we
a
get a
bit?
message to him?
Don't you know Morse
Hey,
code or something,
Dave.
Oz?
Still telling a story.
I know the phonetic alphabet.
Can you do the
Dave,
semaphore?
Dave.
Do you know the semaphore?
I wonder if he
No,
can
I
hear
was
us.
not a signalman. I don't know.
He can hear us.
I mean, no.
God damn it, Oz!
yeah, he
What kind of
can
sailor
hear us.
are you? Okay, he can
hear
hear
us.
you.
We can't. So what the fuck do we do now? Do we have to restart?
God,
Is, I mean, is,
We're gonna
is
exit
this
out.
being
We're gonna come
recorded
back
now?
in. All right.
I'm assuming it's still.
Smash that like button if you like needless things.
All
All
right.
right, what were we? I was off on some magical
There was
tangent.
something specific we were talking about.
The best part of it was lost.
You
when
guys
my
were
audio
talking
went out.
about your Beastie Boys.
Right? I don't know. I feel like we looked great. I think we did a phenomenal job, and I'll tell you right now, those costumes are going to be back next year.
I had one person come up to me when I was wearing my lab coat with the umbrella symbols on it and my ID badge and said, "Hey, nice costume." I was like, no, it's not. Literally the laziest costume ever, but thanks, bro.
So here's what we have to figure out for next year, though. We do have to figure out a 5-person group costume.
Yes.
No, absolutely.
I am leaning towards the Partridge Family
Oof.
because I like modern pop culture references that people are really going to get.
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's even more relevant than the Beastie Boys.
Yeah, it's silly.
Right.
So current.
It's on the
No,
front
I don't
of
know.
everybody's mind.
We've got it, but we gotta figure out a 5-person something or other. And we will. All right. So talking about things that I've got to shrink this down. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna leave in part of my audio falling out because it got really funny for a minute. But for the listeners, my audio, my PC, I don't know why it does this. It will automatically adjust the volume of my microphone, and I've turned off everything that I can turn off. I've adjusted everything that I can adjust, and it still does this shit to me. I've talked about it on the show before. If anybody listening knows how to make it so that my PC will not automatically adjust my microphone, please tell me. Share this information because it's infuriating.
Are
so
you
anyway,
in France? Do you need an adapter?
Maybe I need a French adapter, a translator of some sort. So anyway, things that we loved. Beth, you had a specific one you wanted to talk about.
Well, you ducked out of the video game Hall of Fame panel this year.
Okay, wait, I've got to cut you off.
I don't blame you.
I've got to cut you off because I remembered what we were talking. We were talking about the 1991 panel, and I was saying that our 1991 panel with none other than the incredible Michael Mosley will be available sometime in the next week or so on the Needless Things podcast. Okay. Yes. And the video game panel, continue.
I don't blame you for ducking out at all. That's totally fine. You normally put me in charge of doing the research and doing stuff.
I'm just old and dumb and don't play video games.
I'm old and dumb too, but I play video games.
Well,
leg up, I guess.
Yes.
But you normally put me in charge of doing stuff, but you host. So this was the first panel ever where I have put everything together, done all the legwork, and then had to host it. And I was very nervous, not because I don't know anything about video games, because I know way too fucking much about video games, obviously. But I was very, very nervous about hosting it and getting out into the audience and doing the talking. And, we're not going to talk about the old jerk who came in and tried to derail the panel, but I thought it went really well. We had a great time. Actually, too much audience participation, if truth be told, because the audience had tons to say and they were very, very interactive. So I thought it went.
They were all wrong.
Well,
they were all wrong. Sorry.
they had their opinions. No opinion is wrong unless I disagree with it, but I don't know enough about musical games. I know a lot about video game music, but I don't know enough about musical games to have disagreed with anyone.
So what you're telling me is maybe I shouldn't have used Dance Dance Revolution, that Sega Saturn game about music, and Parappa the Rapper for the graphic for this one. Actually,
Christian, who is my spirit animal after last weekend, we decided that I think Saturday or Sunday night, he brought up Parappa the Rapper, and a guy in a Team Rocket costume who, solid choice, because that's one of my go-to costumes.
Sure.
Brought up Dance Dance Revolution, and the audience won that round because none of us picked Dance Dance Revolution because I can't move my feet when I'm sober, much less try to move them to a rhythm drinking. The first time I ever played Dance Dance Revolution was in the Dragon Con arcade in 2019, and it was 3 a.m. It did not go well.
Oh.
And I am lucky none of you guys were there to see that, because one of you assholes would have taken pictures.
Well, I think, look, Ryan and I have our Mortal Kombat rivalry.
Yeah.
I think the Beth and Nicole rivalry needs to be Dance Dance Revolution.
It will literally be who is worse.
No.
I tried to play it one time.
Well,
I didn't hit one thing.
Technically, isn't that every competition?
Sure. I think that's how competitions work.
I will play a fighting game.
Man, there's some straight poison going on. If there were going to be a fatality, it would be happening in the Cadaver Manor right now.
Yeah.
I will play fighting games all day
No, this
before I play a
competition would be
dance
like
game.
one person would be better and one person would be worse. Totally different than anything else.
Okay, so in Dance Dance Revolution, there's going to be 2 hits. It's going to be me hitting a foot pad and then me hitting the floor.
Sure. I can appreciate that. And hopefully, look, next year, if the video game room is back in full effect, I think it would be fun to set up a Needless Things tournament of sorts.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
I'm fucking down.
Can we do the X-Men fighting game instead of just Mortal Kombat?
Well,
Because I'm so good at the X-Men fighting game.
Here's my idea. Is we let people in the Needless Things podcast Facebook group pick which games we're going to play and who's going to face who.
Whatever it is, me and Oz will be out first. So
I'll be out probably second or third.
No. We haven't talked about Sunday night when I took Ryan to the fucking carpet on both Mortal Kombat and Tekken.
Oh, that's true. Oh,
that's how lightweight I
Whoa.
made it this year.
Wait, hold on.
You guys went to play video games. I went to bed.
You beat me at Tekken for sure. I don't think you beat me at Mortal Kombat.
I totally did. You won one. I won the first one. You won the second one, and then we played Tekken. And
Tekken, you
wiped
whooped my ass. Yeah.
I was too busy playing Centipede with a guy half my age staring at me from 6 inches away.
And I'm 6 inches from this guy watching him watch her.
Nicole, how far away were your boobs? I'm just asking. It's a fair question.
Is it titty time? Titty time!
I wasn't even wearing a titty shirt. I was wearing like the Beastie Boys t-shirt.
Okay, that's fair.
So the tits were in the stable.
To be fair. All right. So
Dave, did we have any questions from Facebook?
Yes, we not any good ones, but we'd had a couple. Ryan Cadaver commented, so many questions. That's good from Ryan Cadaver.
See?
What are your questions, Ryan?
Good content.
That's free.
No, it's a funny comment. It's solid. Kelly Hudson, follow up to my question last week. Who got the most shit-faced? I'm still going to guess Ryan. Now,
wrong.
While we are the core con buddies, we have a number of equally valuable members that are kind of like X-Pac to the NWO that will come in and be part of the group.
Is Noel X-Pac?
Yeah, he is.
Noel is
Yeah.
X-Pac.
Weekend at Bernie's too.
That's where I knew where you were going with it.
I love Noel and
Noel Wood.
Noel was in rough shape.
Noel Wood is definitely a con buddy, not part of the core 5, but a con buddy. And Noel Friday
Yes.
was
Friday? Yeah, it was Friday.
basically
It was Friday.
doing an unintentional Bernie Lomax Weekend at Bernie's 2 cosplay for a good portion of the evening.
And here's what I hate about Noel is that he bounces back so fast. Even at our age, he bounces back like the next day he was fine.
Yeah, he
Whereas
well,
if
I think he said he had a bad morning.
he had a bad morning, but then he just afternoon he's just like, and I'm back. Whereas me, I would have been like, okay, so I'm gonna go dive for like 12 hours and I'll not drink again for a month. See you guys later.
Mm.
Me too.
Yeah, he does have solid constitution
He
for
does.
somebody in our age group. He does handle partying, but yeah, I think
But he was shit hammered.
Oh, yeah.
he was literally in a reverse C shape at one point.
He was
Yeah.
sitting on one of your beds, falling over. Nicole put a cup of water in his hand, and the cup of water started tipping. I was like, no, take that, put that to your mouth.
Yeah, I went straight mom. Well, I saw he stood up, and it was like he stood up, and then he very like Bernie Lomax like settled into that position where it was like bent back and kind of to the side a little bit.
He was
Like, he
looking
was
at the
about to start
ceiling.
doing like a voodoo walk.
Yes.
And Noel, if you're listening, I love you, and we've all been there. Nobody's calling you out.
Look,
Oh,
it's
it's
not
amazing.
like it's not like I'm
passed out on the floor in the fucking floor of the Hyatt 2 years ago. Like
We've
I'm
all-
not
we've all
calling
been there.
anybody out.
it's not like I'm posting the picture of Noel from Trader Vic's in 2016 where he's asleep in a chair. I will never share that publicly again. And I certainly didn't put it in the Steve from Blue's Clues meme and send it to him.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I think out of the core 5, I think me Saturday night was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But out of the extended Con Buddies family, and Noel gets the prize.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good job,
Absolutely.
Noel.
All right. We have from Gary Mitchell. What does crew do at 2 a.m.? And I think he was going for kind of a rhyming thing there.
We try
two-
to get into a goddamn dance party that we can't get into.
Yeah, I think honestly, almost every night at 2 a.m. we were desperately trying to find something
Seeking something. Yeah.
to keep partying and to not go to bed.
Because
Right.
if you have to stand in a line at 2 a.m., it's over.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
You're
think
too tired.
that's what it was. At 2 a.m., we were all varying levels of drunk as shit, wanting something else to do. And it took about an hour and a half for us to figure out there's nothing else to do. And then we went to bed.
Yeah.
Or played
So
video
that's-
games.
That's what we do at 2
It was
a.m.
hard to accept.
At 2, yeah, it was. It really was. Because I mean,
But- In a normal year, the crew at 2 a.m. is at a dance party.
normally 2 a.m. we're up here, but this
Yeah.
year there just wasn't anywhere for us to be. I mean, there have been almost every year there's at least one 5 or 6 a.m. night for me. And I
At
didn't
least,
have that
yeah,
this year.
at least one.
Yeah.
This was my first time of not having a 5 a.m. night morning here.
But perhaps that's part of the reason why none of us had bad hangover mornings.
Easily. And I told Joe harassed me about why aren't you on more panels? I'm like, well, I wanted to take it easy this year, but honestly, I could have been on a lot more panels because I didn't have those.
Right.
Oh God, I have to it's 6 a.m. and I have to get up and be on a panel at noon.
You didn't have Nicole's Friday at 1 p.m. Panel of death situation.
Joe Valentine needs help.
Yes. Oh, I struggled very hard.
We got one more question on Facebook from extended con buddy Ryan Schweck. Who do I send the Schweck Ops bill to? And my response to that is, we will give you a cut of the profits from Troublemaker.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because let me tell you who's made money off of Troublemaker. Jason C. Wilson has not made money off of Troublemaker. David Pierce West has not made money off Troublemaker. You know who has? Dragon Con has made money off Troublemaker, because there are people who bought the Dragon Con TV app so that they could watch Troublemaker. So congratulations, Dragon Con. You're the first ones to profit off of our labors. And you know the old saying, you don't make any money until you've made money for somebody else. So now it's time. Yep. It's time, bitches. Throw them Jacksons at me. Throw them. Benjamin Franklin's.
Is it
No,
not
it's all Jacksons.
It's all Jacksons. It's gonna be all 20s. That's it.
So,
I get
Jackson's on the 5.
There's
right?
still nobody I can sue for not having signed a release form. There's still nobody we're suing.
You signed a release form.
No, I did not.
You did. I have it.
No.
Yes.
Okay, you forged my signature so I can sue you.
That's not gonna hold up in court.
All right.
Did you seriously though? You didn't sign a release?
You never gave me a release form. I asked Wilson. And jokingly asked Wilson. I was like, so didn't sign a release form. Can I sue you or
that's
who?
Probably my fault.
Yeah, he said it was your fault.
But I will
I don't
say
remember
this.
signing one either, did I?
Nope.
No, I had release forms and sent them out to I don't know who.
He said that he gave you release forms and he was like, wait, nobody signed release forms? And I said, sure. No,
a lot of people did. And Oz,
yeah.
I thought you did. I don't remember. I
honestly, I can't remember one way or the other.
Here's where I think a lot of now, Beth, if you say you didn't sign one, you're obviously the most rational person here, so you're correct.
I don't know,
but I never got the release forms back to Wilson, so that's a problem.
No, remember at the first premiere,
what are they going to do? Sue you for the profits?
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but
yeah, unfortunately for you, and even Dragon Con has only made like $30. So
in the 2019 premiere party, I introduced myself in the panel afterwards as Beth. I never signed a release form, Van Dusen.
Well, you have the benefit of being the most reasonable, rational person in the entire movie. So that's your claim to fame.
Hooray!
Yeah, good for you. Good job. All right. It is time, I think, to wrap this thing up. We've talked about the highs, the very, very, very few lows of Dragon Con. Kind of final thoughts. Anything from this year? I needed it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
so happy to be back. So happy to be home.
Yes.
I felt like I was home with you guys in Dragon Con. It was amazing.
Even the things that, maybe were kind of a pain, overall, it was far better than I expected it to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really was. It couldn't have been better.
Yeah.
Well, we were all together again, and if everything didn't happen the way we wanted it to happen, or if everything didn't happen that we wanted to have happen, we were still together and we still had a great time. And it was more than I was expecting, and it was way more fun than I was not anticipating, but I was just super nervous going into it, and we had a great time.
Yeah, the game show
I was
went amazing. Every panel that I was on ended up, I thought, being way better than I expected it to. It was great.
those horror track panels were packed out.
Yeah.
Went very well.
Yeah, they're all solid.
And both of those will be also available as episodes in the near future. I'm probably going to hang on to them until it's spooky season in October.
Yeah.
But well, and you know what? That's the whole thing. I was prepared for do your panels, hang out a little bit, and go back to the room. And it was as close to a normal Dragon Con as I think it could have been expected to be.
Right.
We got to party. We got to hang out. We essentially got to do everything that we wanted to do. Yeah, we didn't get the big music party moment. We didn't get to go to the Puppet Slam, but honestly, in the grand scheme of things, we still had the most fun we've had since last Dragon Con.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Definitely the most fun I've had in, almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. So, looking ahead, Dragon Con 2022, where we will be once again presenting the Big Damn Game Show, where we will still be trying to keep a cap on the number of panels that we do, because this year, I got to tell you guys, this year was ideal.
So no pressure. Oh
yeah,
my God, it was
really. I will never have another 11 panel or 11 event year.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think five. Well, I had 6 scheduled. I didn't do the DDP thing for a number of different reasons. But 5 events was perfect.
Yeah.
And
I think,
Oz,
Well,
we're
yeah,
gonna
here's the
Oz on some more business next year.
yeah.
well that's what I was just about to say. I mean, I was on that. I was on the 1991 panel, had a blast, and I literally really had like a day to like to kind of prep for it, because it was so with the proper preparation, I think I would do even better.
Me and Oz just like watch movies together.
I want to do some more.
So next year, we'll be doing 1982. Oz will be back. Ryan, I'm sorry, but we got to reset back to 1982.
Motherfucker.
It's okay, Ryan. Dave also was very young in 1982. I don't know what I'm going to talk about that I remember from 1982.
No, we're not doing 1982. We will continue on to 1992. I think I don't know. Because I feel like there should be a 1982 panel, even though that was the first panel I was on 9 years ago, was a 1982. But I feel like it needs to be revisited. But yes, next year we will do 1992. And for the first time ever, Ryan Cadaver will be on that flashback panel.
Finally.
Because you were 5 years old and old enough.
Finally bring my child bride on the panel.
Oh. Okay, we just have to make sure we have it early enough for him to be awake.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I already have my pick for next year, by the way.
Oh,
I've been waiting.
Nice. Don't share it here. You gotta wait.
You may have to leave me off though, because you can have Ryan take my place. It's very difficult to do the podcast and do the panel. It's
yeah.
tough.
No, I agree because and especially 91 there. I lucked out because we didn't have enough time because Michael Mosley was so good, and because we actually had one more panelist than I thought we were going to have.
Yeah.
We didn't get around to everybody getting to 2 picks even. So I got lucky.
Yeah.
Because my next 2 picks were not.
Well, I wasn't
great.
super stoked about picking career opportunities. Nobody knew what the fuck it was.
No,
it was like crickets.
Yeah. I know. But I done my 3 best ones on the podcast.
Yeah. And which is why I I in the past have had a different crew
Yeah.
for Dragon Con than I
So
have for the podcast.
Ryan can replace me next year. I'm fine with that.
All right, fair
I'll
enough.
do the podcast. Ryan can replace me on the panel. Because I would like to keep doing the video game panel. I think it went well. And I think all I have to do is get the crowd under control a little bit better and be a little bit more. I have to figure out how to balance the don't give me a bad rating on the DragonCon app, but also
Dude,
shut the fuck up.
shut
Fuck
up
a bad
because,
rating. Look,
because it's not your panel.
During the what panel was it where I had to tell those people
It was the 91 panel.
Oh, a 91
Or was it
panel.
Evil Dead?
There was some it was 91.
No, it was
There
91.
was some couple arguing and I
they
should
were
have
on the
said
phone.
something sooner.
Yeah, they
but
went
it
on
took
forever.
it took me a long time to finally decide I don't care what these people do. And I would like looked at these people and I was like, hey, can you guys step outside? We're trying to have a panel up here. What I should have done was take the roaming mic, walked over to them and just stuck it between them and just stood there until they realized I was there and said, oh, I thought you guys thought you were having a panel. But I didn't.
Well,
it's classic.
Next time for the video game panel, if that boomer shows up again, I'll just be like, hey, so you're not on this panel. And if you want to be, go talk to Joe. And if Joe says you don't get a panel, then bye.
Yeah. That's we are all old enough, mature enough, experienced enough at this point to be able to deliver an iteration of shut the fuck up during one of our panels.
Absolutely.
We just are. All right. So final thoughts about DragonCon 2021, Ryan Cadaver.
Man, I had such a good time. There's really nothing about it I would change. Like even like you said, even the lows were fucking fun. Like it was fun shit to do and be a part of. I loved it. And honestly, like the game show was like how I feel after like we have like a really badass show. Like that's the feeling that I had. And it's a really good feeling. And like that shit didn't wear off till like Saturday night. Like from the game show to Saturday night, I was still like, holy shit, that was awesome.
You did a great job, Ryan.
Yeah.
I'm really,
I mean, all of you guys did a great job. Everybody did a great job. But Ryan, this was your first year doing this. Great job.
Well, Ryan literally saved the day. Without Ryan, there wouldn't have been a game show because I would never, at this point in my life, I do not have the fucking energy to interview people to figure out what their qualifications are to make.
You got a guy who I can wing it.
And there is literally nobody that I could have met that I trust as much as I do Ryan to do that. So if it weren't for you, if it weren't for Ryan Cadaver, there would not have been a game show ever again. So everybody can thank Ryan for making that magic happen.
Absolutely.
Yay.
I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and I'm excited about the future.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the other thing.
I'm particularly excited for next year.
Yeah. Yes, next year. We already have one. As we all heard, we tossed Kessel Run Plinko, but we already have the replacement game ready, like in mind to go.
But what's the new physical game?
We'll come up with something.
You know,
we'll come up with something.
We'll tell you a week out.
We'll have to wait. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll have to wait for the new hot
Oz works best under pressure.
That's all I need.
Here's what we're going to need from you. You need to build a gigantic ear that people can crawl through that's filled with some kind of goo, and then they have to get a flag. And then they have to answer a trivia question. That's all we'll need. But we're not going to tell you until a week before DragonCon.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You got it. You're fine.
See, we're good. We're good. Nicole, what about you? What final thoughts about this magical experience?
I mean, I don't really have anything earth-shattering to say. I just, I'm just like so happy that we did it, that it was like, for me, it was 100% positive experience. Everything, even the shit that was a little disappointing was still a positive experience. I was just like, it felt like I said, like coming home, it felt normal. I was hanging out with my friends. There was zero stress or drama. Nobody acted like an asshole. And if anybody did start to act like an asshole, we just ditched them and it wasn't a big deal. Like everything about it was great. You know, I just was like on a high of like hanging out with my friends, and like the game show was so awesome. The panels I was on were so awesome. Like everything just felt so right and perfect. And I was just so freaking happy to be there and like have fun and like drink and hang out with you guys. It was amazing.
And just to clarify, Oz and I, you and I were talking about doing an all physical game show about just all of the games, no video stuff at all. And I don't think that was a realistic thought.
Right.
It just because
it works good as a mix.
Oz, your stuff is heavy and hard to move, and
oh baby,
we only had girls helping move things, so
Oz's junk is heavy and hard to move.
Take it easy on the ladies, Oz.
All we
That's
need
all
to
I'm
know.
saying.
That's our sign off. But yeah,
lay off on the ladies.
We wanted to continue forward, but I just don't know. I don't think it could have happened that way. I just don't.
No,
we had to have
it's like Ryan said, it's a really good mix,
right?
Yeah, stuff. And right. Especially now that we have you, Ryan, to do that, and it was awesome. That we can do whatever we want now.
Hell yeah!
Absolutely. Oh, and we will. So, Oz, final thoughts about this thing?
I just like everybody else. I just, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I went in with a lot of apprehension, and it was just a blast, man. It was just, it was the most normal it could be with everything going on. And like I said, even with the other stuff, it just kind of faded away, and it was just fun. Like we just had a good time doing all the stupid shit. All of that, dude. It was just a blast, and I couldn't have been happier with it. I mean, I also needed it, man. I just, I haven't done anything either in the past almost 2 years because of all this shit, and I really needed that escape and just go and do that, and we did, and it was fucking awesome.
So I want to say this as well. Part of the wonderfulness of it was that the Dragon Con did cap attendance, and there were about half as many people there as there were last year. So I want to encourage 40,000 of our listeners to not come to Dragon Con next year.
Yes,
right.
Please.
It's no good anymore. It's dead. It's a bad convention.
It was actually really horrible.
It was a bad time.
You'll hate it.
We're lying right now because we're paid by the mayor of Dragon Con to say good things about Dragon Con. But 40,000 of you just need to fuck off and find another convention.
On the side, the mayor of Dragon Con told me he doesn't like half of you guys, and
yes.
You shouldn't come.
Yes. Approximately 40,000 of you should just stay in, Iowa or whatever, and start your own.
Dave.
Look,
Right.
take the initiative.
IowaCon.
Start your own
IoCon.
convention. What's the capital of Iowa?
Des Moines.
Des Moines Con is just waiting. Des Moines
Con.
It's just waiting to happen for 40,000 lucky convention goers.
Well, Dave, remember when we were in the Marriott and you and I were talking and we were just looking around and we're like, wow, this is really crowded. But in 2019, there were more than twice as many people in here on Saturday night.
Well, that was the thing, is like it was still crowded, but it was crowded like it was in like 2011.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what
Right.
it reminded me of, like 2010 and earlier cons that, when I started going in the beginning,
Right.
it was that level of people and energy and shit.
Well, and the weather was gorgeous.
Beautiful the whole time.
Gorgeous.
Thank
his-
you, Ida.
When
It
we
rained.
when we went to go to the when we went to meet you for the game show, we were like, well, should we go inside? No, it's beautiful outside and it's all downhill. Let's walk outside.
It
Yeah.
has rained in Georgia every day since April 3rd. I just made that up, but it sounds about right.
But honestly,
feels
I wouldn't
right.
even fucking challenge it. It sounds
Yeah.
right.
And we had nothing but clear skies and mild temperatures the whole
No
weekend.
humidity.
And then literally like Tuesday, it's fucking thunderstorms again in this bitch.
Yeah.
Not just thunderstorms, like
Bad.
huge
Flood
storms.
warnings.
Flash floods that wake
Yes.
me up at like 2 a.m.
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
shit,
right.
we
That
woke
was
up,
the
like,
night.
terrified, like Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was. It was
so
Tuesday
loud and
night.
Scary. Our entire house was shaking.
Yeah,
Our
that's
cats were crying like they were gonna die. Like, what? Wait, what's happening?
that was the night our power went out, and I got like
Yeah.
2 hours of sleep before I went into work. It
That's
was
the
fucking
night that the
horrible.
lights went out in Georgia.
Oh my goodness! Thank you, Reservoir Dog. Beth, final thoughts about this magnificent Dragon Con.
I don't think I can say anything else anyone else hasn't already said. I would just like to add. "Bum, bum, 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 bum."
Oh my gosh, that was like the best one. Me.
I would like to add, if you haven't listened to the soundtrack for the game Night Trap, please do that.
Oh, I would like to add that if you ever want to respect yourself again, you won't do that.
Night Trap, baby. Look at them titties jiggle on the screen. Night
Exactly.
Trap,
Nailed it.
Night Trap,
100%.
baby. Better than Sewer Shark.
We made up a whole alternative lyric list. Night Trap. They might be vampires. Night Trap. Or
I
maybe
don't-
they're not.
And by the way, I would be willing to bet you could go onto YouTube and find video of all of the video segments of Night Trap in its entirety, and I recommend everybody do that.
I do too.
And I'm sorry
pretty
for you if
good.
you do.
Yeah.
It is bonkers.
It is
guys-
the worst game ever.
Thank you so much for talking about Dragon Con, for sharing Dragon Con with me, for just being awesome. We've found an incredible group of people that love doing awesome things together, and we're going to continue doing it forever and ever.
Forever.
I will send out what is it we have to sign, Beth?
Release forms.
I think it's a
forms.
little late at this point.
I'll send out release forms, non-disclosure agreements, contracts.
too late for that.
Whatever.
Like, you're gonna make
I've
us sign some
disclosed
shit
so
that
much
since we
shit.
can't be a part of another game show.
Yes. Yes.
Like that would ever happen.
Yeah.
We can't be a part of another friend group. This is
Right.
it.
Yes. You
Yeah.
cannot be in other con buddy groups.
I agree with that.
NIL contracts.
Yes. Yes. But anyway, we had an amazing time. So we got to put your stuff over. Beth, where can we find you? What are you doing online?
I am a part of the Execute Chapter 66 podcast, which I guess is sort of still the Needless Things Network, according to our banner.
I don't
Our
know.
banner says it is.
I think not so much.
Whatever. Anyway, we talk about Star Wars books, so nerd it out with us.
Oz, where can we find you on the Brazzers Network?
I'm just on Facebook. I don't even have an Instagram account. I've thought about getting one. I don't.
It's so
have
much
it.
better.
I've heard that. I know.
It's a fad.
Some trouble with technology, Dave.
He's waiting for MySpace to come back.
All I
My
do is
journal.
all I
Oz
do
is
with
like-
Instagram is post cat pics. I mean,
Oz
come
is
on.
like, if I can't have Teddy Bear Picnic as the song that welcomes people to my profile page, I don't want it.
Hey.
He's not wrong.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
Cadavers, what are you guys doing?
You can find me on Brazzers. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
You can find him on the broken bed portion of Brazzers.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh God.
That motherfucker
Did we
knocks
tell you
it
that
out.
story? Let's not talk about that story.
Wow.
I blew the bed out. But yeah, so anyways.
Kaboom!
Ooh.
But anyways,
Like the
so-
K7 song.
moving on from that. So yeah, check out my band, The Casket Creatures and Neon Warlords, which is my new project. We got a new song about to come out. It's called Path of the Warrior, and it'll rock your fucking face off.
Hey, are you guys
That's all.
going to cover Night Trap?
We are talking about it.
You can find me on Instagram at Battle Cougar. You can buy our candles at cadavercandleco.bigcartel.com. And you should buy
Cadaver
them.
Candle Company, we make you smell good.
Yes. We smell better than things that smell bad.
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good.
That's
song.
solid. I like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad
We'll
at
have
all.
We need to work.
So good.
We need to workshop that. All right, that was awesome. Thank you, guys. No, do it. Do it. Hit it. Hit it.
Well, shit, I just closed out of it. Hold on.
God damn.
Yes.
That takes you to. That's all the party you need.
It is.
Okay, two things. One, I hope that you understand why I left in the part where my audio dropped out and everybody was still talking, because it seemed hilarious. Well, it was hilarious. It was slightly frustrating at the time, but also hilarious because I felt pretty confident I'd be able to do something to get the audio back. And listening to it again, I still thought it was pretty funny. And also, I hope you are still listening and didn't cut off, didn't just turn the show off. After that, which I kind of understand anybody who did, because we were past the hour-and-a-half mark at that point. But hopefully the smash that like button did not seem like the end of the show to you, because as all good Needless Things listeners know, there's almost always a post-stumble would be more appropriate. Please check out the Needless Things Podcast YouTube channel. Join the Needless Things Podcast Facebook group. Follow Needless Things Podcast on Instagram, as well as Phantom Troublemaker on Instagram. That's probably the more relevant one, honestly. Needless Things Podcast is just letting you know when everything goes up and reposting news from all of the things that I follow, which is useful. A lot of people have told me they enjoy that, because not everybody follows all of the weird shit that I follow. In the coming weeks, I have got Dragon Con panels. We have got spooky things coming. Unfortunately, there will not be a commentary in September, but October, obviously, we have to watch something spooky and awesome. So stay tuned for that. And there you go. I think that's really about all I've got. If you went to Dragon Con, I hope you had a blast. If you didn't go, I hope you can come next year. I hope we can all go next year. I love you guys.
You have been listening to a Needless Things podcast. You can follow Needless Things on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at needlessthingspodcast.com. Love you. Mean it. Uh-huh.